red. We're not in Norway anymore.
No, the sun is still up, so obviously.
Okay, now it should be actually. It usually gives a little late start, but hello. Where are we?
We are in Odense, Denmark.
I have to show you. Odense, is that how you pronounce that? If you were Danish, how would you pronounce it?
I don't know. Same way, but with the paralyzed tongue.
Oh, you're being very nice now. I have to see who's here, though. So you guys found us, which is good, because we were going to start an hour too early. Oh, this has got to be perfect for Raymond Roberts. It's not even the next day where he's at. In Australia. So this is the Nalebinding Festival in Odense in Jernalderlandsbyen, which means Iron Age country village? Village, yeah. So we got the temperature in there. It's 10 degrees where Raymond's at. It's a lot hotter than 10 here. I don't know, what would you say it is in your wool coat there? Raymond's first, by the way. And Albert is here, and Rhonda's here. Let's see. Oh God, my screen is so dark it's hard to see. Trying to catch up. Oh, they're getting to know each other really well. 2-week trip to Scotland. Rhonda was in. Oh my God, that would be wonderful. And 40 years, odd dream. It was fantastic to go there. Oh, that would be wonderful to see. Hashtag circles and hedges and stones. Oh my. Oh God, can we go to Scotland? Sleep in a castle? Carl? Can we do that? You've been on a plane with me now.
Well,
there.
To put it like that, it's on the list, but not in one of the 10 first places.
No? You don't want to fly with me to Scotland? Sleep in a castle? Cold? Dank?
England first, woman.
Okay, England first.
So colonizer first, colonies afterwards.
My screen went dark. I think I know why, though. I think it's a setting. And if I go in and out of it, it might blink. It's the sun behind me that's so bright, so it's setting to that. Oh my God, brilliant. That's a lot to pack in a fortnight. She said, oh yeah, it was faceted expedition, family heritage, Gaelic language, fiber and wool and archaeology, fangirl time. Oh, you have to read more what she's got in there in chat. This looks like fun. Okay, anyway, Oh, and Max is here, made it. Arlene is here, Arlene Cross. And Kiwi, and Bergen. Heidi Lisa is here. Runa's not with us. We're not where Runa is right now, but we sold 2 of his needles to Susan, so he'll be happy. Max is currently making a hat for her aunt using Finnish Stitch 2, F2 plus 2, 2 plus 2 F2 in watermelon pink. She's battling stage variant 1 of breast cancer for a month. She will love the hat. And I love that stitch. It's my favorite. 8 o'clock in the morning for Rhonda in Denver, Colorado. So we got the Americans up early. Oh, anyway, Liz, you want to walk around? And then we'll come back to see who's here. But Carl, these houses are very different than ours. You want to tell them about it? They're not about it, but why don't we have houses like this? How about that?
Well, the original idea, as far as I understand, was to try to build every type of house the Vikings actually used in Njallarheimer.
Oops.
But we went away from that idea to just build the types of houses that the Vikings actually used in Western Norway.
Yeah.
Because the Vikings are practical, and these houses work well in Denmark, but they wouldn't work well up in our neck of the woods.
No, if you saw last week, we were in spring. This is what full-blown summer looks like in Norway. Minus the mountains.
So these houses have straw roofs, and Gudvangen is way too wet for that. We would have to exchange them every year at least. The walls are, I think some of these houses, maybe most of them, built the walls the same way that we did. But typically for Denmark, they would use wattle and daub walls. And we are too wet for that as well. And also the walls don't insulate enough for people to actually live in the houses.
So come over here with me, Carl. I have to show, we found there was a hazard. Go and stand by that wall and then come back. Maybe not too close because there's bees. There you go. Naturally, Carl's banged his head no less than 5 times today. Okay, come on over here, Carl. You can get away from the bees.
This is actually authentic. This is how the Vikings would actually make a door. So
we can turn this. They can see you that way. I think I have to play with the... So you can see. Yeah, I like that there's a deep doorway. That's also...
The smaller the door is, the less heat you lose every time it opens. And also, it is practical to have your guests bend their head and lean forward when I come in the door, because it's much easier to kill them if you don't like them.
Oh, I never thought of that. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way again, and I'm going to do something that might be really stupid. I am going to try to fix my lighting on here, so it might blink out for a second. Hang on. I need to...
Can you hear me?
No, and I can't write in here either. I have to go on the computer to write in here. 1 minute. You can hear, Max can hear us now. Okay, because when thing is, my screen is so dark I can barely see it. But if you can hear us now, okay. No, then it's good. I didn't want to create a whole new thing because this will be a 2-hour one.
Is the picture good for you?
The picture is good for them. It's the bright sunlight is causing my screen to go very, very dark. So they can see, which means sometimes I'll be filming you like this. But the thing is, when I switched in and out of system to try to fix it, it took away the sound, but I can see that the sound is good now. Okay, so Karl, you were just telling about the passive-aggressive pilots. Can you tell that story one more time? Our plane was delayed, and the Norwegian pilot...
Very quickly summarized. When he was speaking English, he was being concise and polite about why the delays were. When he was speaking Norwegian, he was going into details about why these delays were, and it was very clearly not something he was happy about.
No. And then I noticed that, yeah, it happened also when we was landing too, and then our bags, they're going to be picked up in a little bit, but no, what was it? There's going to be a minor delay as we're waiting for the Danish help to come to the plane or whatever and take our bags. Yeah. And in the Norwegian...
in the Norwegian one, he pointed out that he was not allowed to do it until the guy who knew how to operate the machine was there. We are not allowed to disembark before the guy is here. We are still waiting for the guy we have to have here before we can depart the plane.
Yes, so passive-aggressive, Norway and Denmark. Okay, I'm going to turn this again so I can try to see chat a bit. Okay, now I can catch up. Yeah, no, I could see the screen, but you know what? I have to have my computer next to me to type in the chat. So, good. Thanks for hanging in there, but it's back now. Okay,
Do
Max
you have
is...
a time per on?
No, but they're talking. They can hear now, so that was good. Castles were too recent for Rhonda. Max says those houses are actually like Neolithic, Bronze Age, or Iron Age, if I'm not mistaken. We are going to see if we can find someone to tell you about the houses too, actually.
Well, yes, it is Iron Age.
Yeah, you know this.
The building style is pretty similar to Danish Viking Age.
Yeah. By the way, if some of you may recognize down here, we'll go down there in a little bit. She's just picking up for the day. Do you see those books? Do you recognize them? That is Maria's tent. Maria Lind Heel. Looks like heel if you don't know how to pronounce heel. So she's down there. Anyway, we can turn around and go the other way here. I'll just go a little slow so I don't... Oh, that was another thing, Carl. This walkway, if I can see it on screen. The problem is I can't see my screen very well. Why do we need this in Gudvang? Why did you like this one so much?
Because it's not gravel. And it also probably works pretty well in wet weather.
Oh yeah, we have a problem with mud. So we need to see if we can get some of that here. And apparently the guy name is Lars, and if we stop and ask him, he'll tell us all about it and not get his work done. So they advised us not to ask Lars to come to build it for us. No, so they're packing up. It's the end of the market day. That's why we're coming out. You do realize that half the chat is at the festival. Yes, they are, and we're going to find them. We're on their way to find them now. So we'll get Carl drunk first. And then, but yeah, we'll do 2 hours today. Hey. I have a new bitter alcohol from Eger. Which one is it, Albert? And what did you like it or? Carl, did you find some? Carl, you've had an iced coffee issue. His favorite iced coffee is not sold in Denmark. So you've tried about 5 or 6 different kinds?
Yeah, and some of them are drinkable.
Yeah? You found one called Bold, I think it was, and it comes in a can. And the only problem wasn't that the iced coffee wasn't good, it was that it came in a can.
Yeah.
That's where their sheep house is. We went and looked in there. The sheep are out. They have a lot more sheep than we do.
Yeah, but they might have eaten most of them.
Now maybe they ate most of them, but there's still a few left. And there's some people over there we gotta go say hi to. Should we go say hi to these people? You wanna come in? I have to get out of the heat anyway, I'm hot. Oh, we have to show wool first. Swedish wool. This is pretty. And patterns, but it is a wool festival, so these are crochet. There's been knit and stuff too. Bomull, that means cotton. And some more over here. This is Kartopu wool. I have this wool, but this one's an acrylic one. But they have some regular wool too. That's more like Alafoslopi, which is really nice. Look at that one. Cookie and acrylic. You can needle bind with acrylic yarn. You will just have to reconsider your splicing method. That's a really good price, by the way. 50 Danish kroner. Yeah, how's the Danish kroner going against the Norwegian kroner, Carl?
1 Danish is like 1.6 Norwegian.
Yeah, so the Norwegian kroner sucks lately. Can I come film you guys? You have no choice now. Okay. There we go. We have some familiar faces then. Did you make a square, Ingela? I have to turn it on you and we'll show you. Because the front microphone doesn't work. Let's see, we'll turn you around here. Then they can hear you. Yep. And then I can put this down. It's really dark on the screen, but they can see us. We just can't see them.
I make lots of squares. This is one.
So do you approach it in the same way you do crochet? From the middle, or did you go inside out? Did you start here, or did you start?
I start in the middle.
And then how do you pick your 4 corners? You just did a whole class and I didn't attend.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell you everything now, but I skip some loops and make 6 increases in every corner.
You do those so well, though.
Yeah.
I tried doing that; it still goes round, but I don't increase enough. I think.
No, you need to do at least 6 increases
In each corner.
in each corner. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty.
Yeah.
I have to show that one again. Oh, by the way, Ingela, who are you?
I'm Ingela Andersson from Sweden. Nalbinding Ingela on Instagram.
Ingela Andersson. You say that so much better than I do.
Yeah.
No, we would say Ingela Andersson in Norwegian, but you say Son.
Andersson.
Andersson, yeah. You have to see that again, though. But again, we have to do it this way, otherwise the audio doesn't work. Look how cool!
Yeah.
So I have to see. I'll turn it. I have a charger here with me. Holy crap, I'm super warm. There's some other ladies here I see too. Okay, so I can read chat this way, and then they don't have my nose right up there. Oh, Rhonda says, hi, Anne. Hi. Anne says hi. You can't hear her, but you can see her. and oops, their screen thing goes. That's Anne. That's Nele. That's Anne's mom. Yay! So you got a sidekick just like I do. That's Susan Youngman. Not from Adirondacks anymore. From Frankfurt. And we have a couple bonus ladies. You're on YouTube. But I'll turn it. And there's Karl getting further and further and further away from the textiles. Karl looks like a Viking now. You've been here all day not looking like a Viking. But now you look like a Viking. Anne's mom just took a photo.
Oh, she did.
She did. She took a photo of me. I'm like a flipping tomato over here. Okay, I recognize this stuff here. I have to do it this way so they can see it, but the audio only works really well this way. That's your... Oh, you brought your glow-in-the-dark yarn.
I did. I did bring my glow-in-the-dark
Oh,
yarn.
you got to show that. Okay, well, turn it around and you can...
Okay.
Okay, so...
I'll set that down. I brought several minutes.
Oh, good. You're going to sit and talk while we go find Karl some alcohol. Okay. There you go. There's your chat. The screen is going dark. I'm so sorry, but it's the automatic thing, and then we can turn you down a bit.
Too far for the alcohol.
Oh, this is Anne. Oh, this person. It's Anne Moreau. Did I say your name right? All the way from Belgium? You came just as far as... Karl, come here.
Your alcohol's here.
When Anne gets on lens, Anne can talk, so here you go.
As I promised.
So she had me bring...
Look how happy you made him.
And I promise you one thing. There is no mango inside.
Damn it, because I know that Maria found you some mead with a lot of berry flavor.
Yeah, no, as long as it's not mango.
Oh, you got a card too.
It's the kind of beer.
Oh, the kind of beers that they... Oh, you got some studying to do. I like the real Trappist beer. So
Real.
and a typical Belgian beer, as your son Karl. This way you have a son named Karl.
Oh, this is enough to send me into orbit, I'm afraid.
You can see he's a lightweight. Which one do you want to start? You don't have to drink them all today. We just have to make sure we can get them home. But between your limit and mine, we get those home. So, but you...
From the region from south of Brussels.
Then, oh, we have to show. This one is... This is the one that was from south of Brussels? And it was fruity?
Yeah, Kriek is
Kriek?
sherry.
Ooh, it's like sherry. Oh, I see, there's cherry in it. Okay, what else you got in there? Now you gotta show this stuff off. She's got bubble wrap and everything. She's more efficient than we are.
This is... Yep.
Oh,
That came in by plane.
okay. Yeah, when you carry it, but they made it. I had like a bottle of fish oil I brought back from the United States once.
Uh-oh.
Or to United States. Oh, it does that every once in a while. Just double click the back. And it goes, whoop. There we go. That one is
Kompel.
Kompel. Created through fellowship. And there's
Kompel is a mine worker.
and she looks, and a female wine worker too, so it's very forward thinking.
In the war, the lampenmeisje were
Yeah.
the girls that had to make sure that the lamps kept working.
Ah,
So in the region of the mines in Belgium,
yeah.
they created some beers to honor all the people that worked in the mines.
Oh, how cool. And this is
This
wheat
is
beer. Does that mean
very-
white beer?
Yeah, that's
Okay, should we do another one here? Let's see. Karl just wants to drink it, so I'll just zip through.
this
Duvel.
is Duvel. This is,
Duvel. I'm not even close to saying it right.
no, Duvel is already good, but Duvel is like devil. It's devilish beer.
Somewhere there's Karl's former college mate drooling over the beers right now. Torben.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But that one you should let him rest a little bit before you drink him because there is yeast.
Yeah, this one might be better to have a little later then, because I think
Yeah.
you need to drink something now.
Yeah. So that's the story behind why I had to wear a different kind of pants for the last week at work.
Oh yeah, because he opened the beer and it went all over his pants.
Most
we had to-
brewery has this beer that isn't entirely finished.
Yeah, I'll put that in there.
So I put it on the table and I let it stand on the table for 3 hours before I opened it. And anyway, it just...
We would say it ejaculated all over him. Okay, no, this one is okay, say it.
Shime.
Shime. Karl, you
Real
can say that one.
Trappist beer.
A real Tempest beer?
Trappist.
Trappist
Trappist.
beer. Oh, I like Tempest, but Trappist works too. The real Trappist beer. And these are, oh, 8%. Carl, I don't know if you should start with this one.
That one has to rest a little bit also.
Yep, you
It's
can't
not
have
for
this one just
today.
yet. Nope, so you get to choose between the miner's beer or the Creek, the cherry one. This one is, you can see I'm blind as back, 3.5% alcohol. And this one is, where is it?
No idea.
5% alcohol. Do you feel like getting a little drunk or a lot more drunk?
We can start with this milder one, so that my
Cherry.
brain is still with me for a while.
Okay. There you go. I'll put this right over here so you don't trip on it. Oh my God.
That's duvel.
Okay. All right, Carl, let's see how you do, and then we'll show off Anne's stuff here. You'll get a 5-minute break there, or 10 or 20. The Viking bottle opener, otherwise known as a fire striker.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not sure
you know,
that's
you-
going to work, but I can try.
Take that off, maybe. So you can get to it. Lindemans.
Usually carry maskarma socks, but I am not sure about the Danish laws about knives. So,
Oh yeah, no. So he did not bring it with. He's like, I feel so naked.
Why do I feel like I'm
just
sitting
waiting for
too
it to go over
close?
Oh yeah, maybe the back of his scissors. Yeah.
I'm like, why do I feel like I'm sitting too close?
He got it. Oh, he did it. There you go. Okay, Carl. I can take the cap. All right.
Did you
Cherry
have
beer?
your needle pouch in here?
Yeah.
Do you have a needle pouch? Here?
Yes.
Can I look?
Yeah.
smells very, very.
Anne's very proud over here. Whoop. It's okay. Hang on. There you go. Triple clip. It's because of the plug thing. There you go. Carl just did a double take. I don't know if you saw that.
I forgot to say it can be a quite sour beer because it's a goose, and the goose is a quite sour beer also.
It's not bad.
What do you think?
I
It's
don't.
not bad. That sounds like a Duluth thing. If we say that, you better worry.
No. I'm Norwegian. I'm not from Duluth. It's very unbear-like. It's like hard lemonade with more berries than you think you could fit in this bottle.
Well, that's going to go down fast.
Yeah, if you drink it, compare it with lemon.
Compared it with lemonade?
It's like pleasant cough syrup.
That they will love to hear in Belgium.
I'm still not entirely convinced that's a compliment, though. He's on the weak stuff, though. But I'm glad you got berry in there, just because it's not mango.
And this is cherries.
It's cherries, yeah.
And a cherry doesn't taste as much like a cherry as this does.
Well, have a seat. We'll show you on stuff, and you can get drunk in the background.
Jerry, concentrate.
Should we set this down? Yeah, I forgot to tell you the battery. I put it in a battery pack because it'll pull. There you go, and then you can just adjust it to where it sees you. You got chocolate too?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. You're all missing out.
Ah! Which one's the
Anne-
best?
Anne. Not this
Anne
Anne.
Moreau, yeah.
That Anne.
Belgian Anne. I'm going to touch them all first and then
Beautiful
choose.
chocolate.
Whoop.
Here's a list. There you are.
There's the list. Lovely. I didn't drink beer.
And the inventor of Belgian praline is on here too. Oh, they're really good.
Yes, they're very good. They're very good.
No, we have to
So
show the front of it.
she somehow
That
wants
name
me.
brand. Okay, you show your glow in the dark.
So I did not bring the black light to show you how much this actually glows in black light, but I did bring my
It's kind of glowing in here.
my little cowl, and so the colors that are on here, the little spotted colors, they glow in the black light and they just shine. And I have several other pieces that I've done in that black light yarn, but this is in Nuutinen stitch. And because it's a Mobius, you get the technical front on one side and the technical back on the other, so you can see that there's a bit of a difference in the texture on that stitch. And then this one and the next one are both in Dalby,
I love the colors on it.
and the pooling in the short variegations is an awful lot of fun. And again, black light reactive, especially the yellow parts, so it gets very bright.
Your English word usage is much better than mine. Poolage and the technique.
And then we have the rainbows, which actually is very interesting because when you look at it in the computer, you get much more interesting pooling than I actually see in my eyes visually. Because it's kind of fun to see what the computer sees versus what I see. Mm-hmm. And
oh yeah, because it's so dark on my screen.
Well, no, just look at the side of it here, right? And then look at it in the screen.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh God.
It looks
you can see it. My screen is going so dark. But
it looks very different, you know, from what the camera sees versus and highlights versus what I see.
Yeah.
It's.
Is this one of those like when a newscaster wears houndstooth?
There's somewhat. You've got
the roof in the Viking village. The ones that are tiled, they also have that effect.
Yeah.
So I don't know
there's a green in there that might be doing some interesting green screen effects, and the blue is melding with things.
On this one and this one, you see how you got this vertical striping? How'd you do that?
That's just how the pooling and the size of it. So what happens is that depending on how many stitches you have around compared to how long the color is in the short variegations will get you different kinds of pooling. And so these two hats,
that's what you mean by pooling.
These two hats were different, were the same yarn, but they were different, they were different circumferences. And so the distance around was different. So in this case, which was a little bit bigger before I fold it, it made it so that all of the colors in the variegated yarn sort of lined up. Whereas in this one, they're going much more at staggered diagonals.
Yeah, it's the stitch count and the...
It's the stitch count. It's how many stitches around the circumference you have will change how the yarn, when it's variegated, pools its color together.
Mm. That's such a cool effect. And then when you look at the top of the circle, it goes a little bit different again.
Yes, and the top of the circle will pool differently.
Because your stitch count is less there.
Yep, than the sides.
But it's always such a cool effect. That one's really cool. I didn't get to touch this before. I get to touch it now.
Yeah.
You can't do that on Zoom.
Yes, yeah, you can't do that on Zoom.
Oh, you gotta talk about your Zoom.
There's been a bunch of this. So every weekend I do a null binding get together on Zoom. You can find an event on Facebook. I occasionally broadcast it out elsewhere, but it's the same Zoom link every week. We do a Saturday night for me session that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And runs technically through 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I'm sleepy, then we stop. But if the conversation is going, we keep going. So you can drop in at any time and check in and see what we're up to. We talk about modern null binding. We talk about historical null binding. We talk about world events while we are null binding.
Oh, yeah. But you get your geek on 10 times better than I do. And you can show them because you have the camera that looks at your fingers.
Yes. And I show people directly looking at my fingers what I'm null binding, and we sometimes start from the beginning, or we try a new stitch, or we work out a different connection stitch, or how to explain the differences between one and the other. I also brought several other hats, so this one's also in Dalby. But the solid color.
I had to do it. I've been dying to try on your hat.
And then this one's in Corgan, but it's been folded slightly, so the texture is a little smoother.
How do you do it? How do you fold it?
Do
you do the washing machine or do you do it by hand?
No, I do it by hand. I take my bathroom sink. I have a little video of actually fulling this one. Yes, yeah. I haven't put it up yet, but I do have a video of fulling this one, where I put it in. I set my camera up so that it looks down at my bathroom sink, and it's me and my hands in the bathroom sink as I'm like, I am squishing it and undoing it, squishing it and undoing it. Put the hot water and the soap on and squish, rub.
That sounds a bit like you with the squishity squish.
Yeah, and squish it up and rub. And at first, it feels like everything lets go and it gets bigger. It's kind of scary.
I have that problem.
It's like, oh my God, it's getting bigger. It was too big to begin with. This is a problem. And so you just keep working it and and you shock it with cold water, and then you do hot water and soap again, and then cold water, and back and forth as you're doing it, and you squish, 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 and then eventually you feel it start to seize under your fingers, and it starts to tighten up, and then you got to find the parts that don't feel so tight, because those are the ones that need a little more work. And you can full it down to the point so hard that you can't see the stitches. Now, mind you, this is dependent on yarn, because some yarns,
the Lopi yarn is really
some
good for
yarns will entirely obscure the stitches to the point you can't see them, and other yarns not so much. This one you can still actually pull the yarns apart separately.
Yeah, you can still see the stitch in that
you
one.
still have stretch in this one a little bit. But you can make them very, very stiff so they have no stretch. This one I just fold enough because I needed it to be able to fit my head, which I can't do with my turban, but
no.
you know, that sort of thing.
The Grinch
I
made
might
that
have,
one. I did
I
that to
might
the
have to
stitches
do
once.
that to this one, because as you can see, this one is big enough that I can actually get it over my turban. So
Well, that's a look. Yeah, no, I think you should wear that the rest of the day.
but so it's a bit big for me. Oops, I was a little too distracted while talking to my friends in the Nalbinding get-togethers, and
Did you do
my
Oslo?
initial circles. No, this is actually this is Dalarna.
Is it dollar? That's
Dalarna.
that's the
Yes,
outside.
Yes, Dalarna, and that's outside, and this is the inside.
Yeah, okay.
And it's fairly loose, so it's not very tight. And then I did a braid, a single strand braid all the way around. So that green braid is just one strand as it goes all the way around.
Because you're showing way more technical than I normally do. You'll have to
and go
explain how
in.
did you do the braid.
And so it went all the way around. See, she's making me do this, yes. So you start with the row. Let's see, where do I start? It's around here somewhere.
You gotta explain all this stuff. You got a whole different audience now. Well, a lot of the same too, though.
Yes, yes.
Arlene
so
is here.
you can see the color change right there. So that's where I changed over and I started. And so you start and you come up and go around. So I do about 10 stitches and I'm skipping about 8. And then I attach for like 4, and then I do 10 and I skip 8 and I attach for 4, and I keep doing that all the way around. Till I get back to that point again where I join up and I skip over and do the second row on the inside side, and having turned down that first row out of the way, and I connect into the same spots but 4 stitches over. So I go into the 4 that were remaining, and then I skip 8, 4 of which are already occupied by the other stitch. And I connect 4 and I skip 8, and I connect 4 and I skip 8 until I get all the way around to the other side again. And then you have the fun part of weaving your third one in. So you come down between the 2. So you pull the 2 apart, you come between the 2 and under it, and you stitch into those 4 last remaining stitches that you had been skipping. And then you go over the one in front and under the one in back, and then back over the one in front and under the one in back, and then you stitch again.
Yeah.
And you just
So you got your
weave
join
your
is,
braid through all the way around.
because your join is hard. You can't really see where your
That's
start
because
and
I
stop
faked
is.
it on this one.
This is why I had you explain that.
Because I actually got the cross wrong between row number 1 and row number 2.
Did you?
At the stagger, yes. And so my last cross didn't want to cross correctly. So there was a slight snip and adjust and sew it back in.
It's a forgiving craft, kind of.
Exactly. No one can see it and no one knows it's there but
But
me.
do you approach? You know how to do this one in crochet?
I don't actually.
Oh, because the way you describe it, I think is the same way I would do it in crochet. I've actually never null-bound braid. I don't know why. I don't know
But
my
technically
problems.
that would be the same thing. It's
It would
just
be, yeah.
What you do, the chain is different.
Yeah, it's the approach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
the
there's
process
questions,
is
and I'll
different.
have to go in the questions after.
And then this hat here is in Oslo in a
That's the Oslo thick.
it's a thick,
Look how thick.
and then the inside is a different structure.
That's what I
Surface
usually have
texture
on the outside.
than well, that is the side that is on the outside
Yeah,
when
the
you work
technical
it.
right side, yeah.
But it has all the extra mini air pockets, so I put them to the inside to help keep the warm in.
I was gonna say,
And
that's the
es-
second time you've got a project that you wear differently than I do.
And especially when I do this in mittens,
Yeah.
absolutely, I turn that side in. One,
Yeah.
because the Åsle mitten actually has that on the inside
It
side.
does. We had stuff at the OSF.
Yeah. Two, because all these little extra mini pockets, besides the pockets of air between your fingers that make a mitten warmer than a glove, now I've got extra mini pockets all the way around my hand, which makes it extra warm. And
Yeah.
this surface texture on the outside, which is little short bends.
Yeah.
Yes, it provides lots and lots of grip.
See, she gets her geeky on. See, she knows more than I do. Yeah.
Ingela has one.
Oh, this is the
Ingela
one.
has
sorry,
an
I
Åsle square.
I've seen this one. I have to touch it. Okay, I feel good now.
So you can see the difference between this side in her square and this side. Now the nice thing about Åsle is it makes this double thick fabric.
Yes, it does.
And it's beautifully soft and thick, and it has this grippy short side and it has a longer floaty side. The trick is it takes longer because you're only putting one row up half of the other row because you're connecting into the bottom and the top of each row, and you end up going only up half a row at a time, which makes it double thick, but and extra strong. It's a lovely stitch. I wrote I'm going to take this moment to advertise.
Just so you know, Carl's getting a second beer.
Okay, excellent. So while Karl is getting his second beer, I wrote a book called The Åsle Mitten Stitch, 24 years ago, on how to do this particular stitch, and you can find it in Etsy, and I'm sure someone will put a link in there, if not now, certainly later. And while I'm actually doing the shameless advertising,
No, do your shameless advertising.
I will also mention that I wrote a Nalbinding Made Easy, which is for the Mammen and Corgan stitch, which is the stitch that I use in, say, this particular one, which we find in all kinds of places. One, in the Mammen pennants in Denmark, in the gold and silver wrapped silk, little tiny, tiny, tiny stitches. But we also find it in more thumb-sized stitches in Egypt, in their socks in the first millennium, stuff like that. So,
Just a second. He can't drink it until he critiques it. So, what are you drinking, Carl? This is the miners one.
Yeah.
Yep. You have to critique it, and then she can.
As in people who work in mines, not people who are not old enough.
I didn't even think of that. There you go. See,
I don't know.
like-
She looks awfully young on the front.
She does look quite young, but she does look like
does.
she works hard for her money.
Yes.
She can work in a mine, she can just doesn't drink alcohol.
Look at Anna over there. She's intently watching you.
Oh, this is a little bit like the Latvian
The Lithuanian ones
the Lithuanian ones.
with the banana.
It's not as pronounced as with theirs. It's not like somebody has shoved the banana into it. They've just hit it a couple of times with the banana. It's good. It's really good.
Oh, you found a new winner. Look at it. Okay, I'm sorry. You're gonna see Anne's over there celebrating.
The beer bringer.
That's right. Carl is now in much like of Belgium. Okay, you can continue now. We've paused
Okay.
for the beer.
All right. In the random other pieces of Nalbinding that I brought along, I also brought along a sample of simple looping, patterned simple looping.
It looks like Antarsha.
And no. And so what this does, this is based off of the structure that you see in the beret from the Tarim mummies in Urumqi, Chirchinman. And it's done by making 4 little simple looping stitches, and then you take a space, you leave a space, and then you do 4 more, and 4 more, and then another space, and then 4 more, and another space, and then you have your increases at the corners, and that is what gets you this sort of...
This is simple looping, you said.
It's simple looping, yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
I
simple
see it
looping.
there.
Yes, and that gets you this lovely diagonals.
How do you control your
Pattern.
spaces so evenly?
I stick my thumb in them.
Okay.
Well, actually, my forefinger. These are a little smaller. I sort of, when I go to pull it, I stick my forefinger down in there and I pull so that I pull up next to my
Just
forefinger.
like you do when you're
so
making a
it's,
net.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
That's quite
any
cool.
gauge would do. And
'Cause that reminds me of Intarsha, but Intarsha is a knitting
Yeah.
technique where they pick off the side, but they only do one chunk at a time.
Yep, and this is
Yeah.
this is a pure spiral. It's actually worked all the way around.
I know, I like
in a
it.
spiral. It's just where the increases are and on which side you do the diagonals. You can also make diamonds and
yeah.
other shapes if you
gonna have
carefully
to try.
place
There's a
which
lot
way
more
that
techniques.
which way that you do those.
I'm sorry, I have to touch this too.
All right. So she is stealing my sock. So I have to turn it over here so that you can see my sock.
There's a little story behind the sock because originally you only had one.
I still only have one of that one.
Oh, that's right. This is the one we had the challenge with.
No,
where
no,
if
no, no,
Who
no.
finishes first, the blacksmith sweater? Or your
Your socks, yes.
oh, the
It was a
baby's-
very similar sock, but not quite this complicated.
Okay, now you're gonna talk about the sock there. Oh no, that was fun. By the way, she won. She kicked my ass completely.
I ended up with so I think that Karin is crazy because Karin was busy making this full length sweater
For a blacksmith that can't
for
change his
a
mind.
tall scrawny blacksmith, luckily scrawny blacksmith, but still
Yes.
tall. And she was making this sweater, and I was like, "You're crazy," because like full body garments and
We did a
binding
stitch count,
is a
too.
lot of work. And then I was busy working on a pair of socks. Well, at the time, only one.
colored ones.
In lovely, beautiful variegated yarn. I have pictures of them on the internet. You can find them. And I was working on a pair of socks for me, because this one is my theoretical reconstruction of what the Dura Europus fragment may have looked like.
Oh, you even twisted the. I like that.
Yeah.
The laces.
And so all we have of the original Dura Europus fragment is a couple of these lacing loops, this band down the side, a few of these little stitches here, 2 pomegranates up the tree of life, 1 pomegranate and a little bit of the row over here. And because it's fragmentary and it's delicate, because Dura Europus was sacked in 256 AD, so it has a little age on it, they preserve it flat. But when it's preserved flat, it's really, really hard to visualize what that would have looked like when it was a sock.
Is this the one that got the spade through it?
No, that's the
another
one
one.
in the National Museum of Denmark, which we are currently in Denmark.
We're in Denmark.
And so that's the one, their online exhibition right now. They actually have the Recontext projects finalized the archaeological puzzles in a museum online exhibition at the National Museum of Copenhagen. They're not going to do a real exhibition, but they have the online exhibition there. And you can go online to the museum and look it up. They have 8 case studies about the textile, about the textiles that they have there. The catalog has about 30 out of the 112 that are described.
Yeah.
One of which is a null-bound sock. It doesn't have this decorative back like this or the decorative front, but it is shaped very much like this one, and it does have the
Fringe.
fringe
That
on
fringe
it.
is so cool. I don't know if they can see that. That's why I had to look at
Yes,
it.
so the fringe is a
It's-
deliciously lovely, fun thing to
And
do.
it's not just pom pom. They're twisted.
Yep.
They're little twisted.
So I had to practice that, and I wanted to have an idea of what the Dura Europus fragment would have looked like when it was a whole sock. So I took all of my examinations of other Egyptian socks and from the region, and anytime that you have a really decorative back like this, you have this candelabra front, but you don't see it on ones
No,
that
you
don't
don't,
have
yeah.
the decorative back. It's very rare. So we're talking like 7 out of 70 socks. And then again, we have one other sock, the one that's currently in the V&A, that has lacing loops, and so it has a tongue. So we knew what to do with those lacing loops.
Yeah.
Although the one in the V&A, they actually laced through the lacing loops here, and then they sewed through the tongue with the thread. I presume that is to tie it onto a buried body.
Yeah.
Instead of,
you don't want to lose your sock when you die.
everyday life human being. We don't know that the Dura Europus fragment had fringe or not. That part of the sock is missing. But pretty much every one of the ones that has a really decorative back also has fringe for the ones that we do have whole. And we have 3 pairs in Nantes, France. They're very decorative, lots of cool stuff. So But again, we're looking at like 7 pairs of socks out of 70, so there's not a lot of them. But this is my fun one with that. But the crazy part is, she thought I was crazy.
I did think she was crazy.
Yes, she thought
That's a
I was
lot of
crazy
stitches.
because I was willing to do this at 8 to 10 stitches to the inch.
Yeah, no, I used
And
fat yarn.
I didn't bother to count how many rows to the inch. We're not getting into that.
I think we did do the math.
Yeah, we did do the math because I told her she's crazy, and we went back and forth for quite a while. And I finally said, "Okay, fine. You tell me how many stitches there are in your sweater, and I'll count how many stitches there are in my sock."
This is how big my stitches in this sweater are.
And it turns out that this is the equivalent of a sweater.
It is. That's what I mean. See, you're crazy. At least I'm got right on one thing.
You know, and so maybe I could make a sweater someday because I'm clearly crazy enough to actually make.
If you make it
pair
for
of
the
socks.
blacksmith, it'll take longer because he keeps changing his mind.
Yeah, see, that's why I make these socks. I make for me. There's 60 hours in this sock.
Oh yeah, no, I believe it. I believe it.
That's 120 hours for a pair. I don't do these on commission unless you pay me obscene amounts of money, or
You may
I
place your order
love
if you just follow the 1-800
dearly.
number at the bottom.
Dearly. And so obscene amounts of money will make me change my mind about making these for someone else. Just saying. But they're not cheap because that's a lot of my time.
Yeah.
And but they will be to archaeologically correct connections, etc., and so forth. Just saying.
They're massive.
But so anyway, so I had finished the one, and then she was teasing me about one sock syndrome because
did, she
I
had the dreaded
this
one sock syndrome.
and then I had the one sock of the other pair, and they were both the right sock, so it's not like I could
I'm not a
conveniently
very nice
pair them
person.
together. And so I got distracted before I could do the second sock. So she was definitely teasing me about the one sock, but I got this beautiful madder dyed natural wool yarn that was
Yeah.
absolutely stunning, that was just the right color pair of the V&A, the pair of null-bound socks in the V&A that are of this style. And there's a difference in this portion
Yeah.
of the connections on one of the socks, but not the other. And I wanted to see if my interpretation was correct. So I quickly made myself a pair of those socks and then came back and made the second one. And I managed to get both pairs done in the time that she finished the sweater.
Oh yeah, no, that thing took. I do say that he likes to change his mind, and then there was a lockdown in there where he wasn't allowed to enter the village without a gas mask, and then that's actually a true story, unfortunately.
It is.
I have to see. You probably got chat in here. I'm gonna turn it this way though.
Okay, while you do that, I will pick up a couple of other little bits.
Yep,
'cause
you
I-
pick them up.
other
We can look at your
things.
fingers, but they won't hear you so well from this way. But then
Alright,
they
so-
don't have to see me with my nose all the way up in the screen.
But so this little sock here,
That's the one.
This little one here, I did in a way so that you can actually see the various parts of the sock. So first you make the big toe, and then you make the toe for the little toes, and you start the increases, and then you put them together, and you have the body of the sock, and then you make the heel flap.
There you go. It's that. What's that variant? That heel type.
And
A, B, C, D,
yeah, I
whatever.
think they call it E, that one.
E, yeah.
And anyway, it's a heel flap and a heel cup. And so then you do your heel cup, which goes back and forth this way. And then you get to the ankle, which goes around, like so.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have this decorative welt where it's actually connecting, and sometimes you don't. And sometimes you get a decorative welt at the ankle.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different places that you can put decoration on it, but that is the basic portions of an Egyptian sock. They have several different ways to do the pickup and the reversals, and several different ways to do these connections. Some of them don't have any slits. Some of them
Right.
have a single slit. Some of them have an overlapping slit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Lots of options.
Let's see. They were talking about the wool here. Carl standing around making the place look untidy. That was Raymond, the sheep herder, that wrote that all the way from Australia, which, by the way, you have a Zoom time.
I do.
Anne has a Zoom time that compensates it. Yeah, no, that's what we do. We come from Norway to Denmark and make them look untidy. I like that. Carl took a sip and our vision went wonky.
It
Oops.
did. It went exactly like
It did, just like that. It's because we're going 2 hours, I have it connected to this and the cord pulls on it every once in a while. I like that. So your beer is affecting everyone, Anne. Belgian beer makes YouTube go wonky. Let's see. Oh my God, chocolate, nom nom nom. Arlene says, oh, Belgian chocolates, yum. Rhonda Hagman, love that, Anne. Let's see. Dolby is great. Carl in the background looks like a happy kid, says Albert. Yeah, no, he's getting happier and happier.
Beer number 2.
Beer number 2. How is that beer going, by the way?
Oh, I can finish it at any point.
Let's see. We'll keep looking at your stuff here so I can, do the blind as a bat thing. So cool, says Kiwi. She's from Bergen, by the way. Look at that. That's Billum?
No, this one is actually from Colombia.
Oh,
so this
let me turn it so you can hold it the right way here.
All right.
See, move this around. There we are.
All right. So this one is a modern Nalbinding from Colombia, and it is done in two-colored simple looping, and so it has
simple looping.
It has the same stitches that I had in that red piece, but no spaces. So it's a solid fabric. It also has a very interesting piece in that it has a different, much more compound stitch for the start down here, and it has a nice compound edge up top. So these are more like some of the Nalbinding we're used to thinking of in the spiral Nalbinding, but simple looping as well. The fun one about the Colombian mochila is that you have these really fancy braids.
I was going to ask if that was sprang, but it's
for
not.
the handle. No, it's this really fancy, interesting braid because it comes down and it loops in both sides. There are no open ends, it's the loops. And it goes up and it does this braid around.
No, it is a braid. I braid hair. I need a braid fabric.
Beautiful braid. The nice thing is that it means you can have a fairly thin strap when you want a thin strap, but you also can spread it out. Now this one's fairly small, but I have a larger mochila that actually ends up being
Would you call that a mochila?
Yeah, which ends up being quite large. So when you carry it from your head, you can have a nice broad band across your forehead. And that will hug your head, and it makes it easier to carry.
Is this cotton, or what did you use? Hemp?
No, I did not use this. This is one of this is produced by the natives of the area.
Ah, okay,
This is not mine.
It feels like a cotton, but
there's
plant fiber in here.
Yes, it is plant fiber. It is plant fiber, but I think it's a mogwai. I'm having trouble remembering the name of it, so I apologize greatly for managing to terribly misspell it.
And they call you an expert.
But it's in the same family that agave is, but it isn't an agave cactus. It's bigger, and they make fabric from it.
She might know a little bit more than me about needle binding. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah. And then there's another style. This one's from Peru, which I absolutely adore. This particular one.
That's Billum.
No,
Damn it.
this is also Peruvian. So this one is loop and twist, also from Peru. And so they have the loop and twist stretchy bits here. It's upside down from the way we usually think of working things. So you come down, connect to the previous row, come back up, twist around itself, and then go over to the next stitch. Come down, connect, twist around itself, go over to the next stitch. So that's a loop and twist, and it has this really beautiful figure 8 edge at the top. And this one's a lot of fun because the handle is also loop and twist, and so it does this.
This looks like, well, it's macrame. It's related in a way, but it looks a little bit.
So that one's very nice. This is really, really comfortable. But again, it's that same
That's that stiff fabric.
plant fiber that they've been making as they then make the yarn, and so they make them together, and it's just it's rather stiff. And
Name
it's
that fiber, Carl.
Lovely. It feels amazing.
You can feel it's a plant fiber. It's not cotton.
I don't know why you would think I knew.
No,
because
it's not that I
This
think you know. I
one,
just want to embarrass
I
you.
have no idea exactly where it came from because unfortunately it came from an estate sale and they
my
did not
hemisphere,
document
it's
where
your
this
hemisphere.
particular one came from. And
This one's
looking,
Billum.
It could be Billum.
Okay, there you go. I have a winner.
It could be Billum, but it could also come from South America somewhere, or Central America, but most likely South America, because the hourglass stitch, which is the main stitch in the body here, the hourglass stitch is done in both regions. It is done in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea,
Yeah.
and Australia, and actually also in Africa, and South America.
Would this
So
be
we
made
see
around
that.
a piece of tape, as in paper
Yeah, you would
tape?
probably have
Yeah.
a stick of some sort or tape of some sort to help you with the gauge.
Yeah.
But
Not
then
actual
it
tape,
has
paper that we call tape. Yeah.
yeah, and then it has at the top, it has this almost, I'll show you the lighter color because it's
Yeah.
easier to see. It has a not York stitch, but York family variant.
Yeah.
So it does that, it could do that twisting that is inherent in York, but it's that corkscrew spiral
Yeah.
for there. And then it has a woven handle. But it's a lovely piece, and unfortunately, it has lost its provenance.
Sorry, I need more chocolate.
And then because one can't, one shouldn't say that all of the South American ones or even
When the
Papua
Belgian
New
brings you
Guinea
chocolate, you
are
chocolate.
just in the simple variants. There are also compound variants, much like the ones that we do on our thumb more naturally. So we have this little bag here with a spiral variant where you can see that it is actually doing a stitch fairly similar to York. It's actually a B1 over / under if you want to be specific, but it is a nice little tiny bag.
That was cute.
It's very cute.
That would fit a phone.
So
Well, an older phone. Well,
yeah, it's
maybe.
not gonna fit my phone.
You got a brick.
It's not gonna fit my
Her
phone at
phone
all.
could eat my phone. I just realized chocolate and all binding is not necessarily something that goes hand in hand. Who's spit splicing over here? Ingela's spit splicing.
Yeah, no, not fit my phone at all.
Chocolate and red wine.
So, so I do a good bit of null binding, and I talk about it on my blog. So I will hold
You have
this
to
up
check
nice
this
and careful. It's
Max, I know you're watching. This is where you get the geek on.
yeah. So nullbound.com, NALBOUND.com. Is where I slowly managed to blog a bit. Recently, it's been mostly about Egyptian, but if you come see me at the null binding get-togethers, we can talk South American or Central American or North American null binding or African. In June 12th, I'm getting to go to the Textile Museum in Washington, D.C.
Oh, cool.
And I'm going to see some more Egyptian null binding, but also a piece of African null binding from the late 19th century. I'm going to go see one of the Congolese prestige capes.
You get to see the crap that's under the glass.
No, I get to see this crap that never actually made it out to the glass.
Oh, she's good. Yeah, no, no, you're good. Okay, no, there's got to be more chat here for you here. We'll turn it this way again.
I saw a lot in the last 2 weeks, too.
You did.
I've been dragging Mom all over Sweden.
Raymond says, full body garments. Oh my God. My poncho was 4,000 or 45,000 stitches from 1 kilo of wool. My cardigan is over 25,000 so far and around 700 grams of wool. Yep. And you thought I was crazy with one blacksmith sweater. Raymond's nuts.
Raymond does lovely work.
Raymond does amazing work. Yeah. I have to catch up on the pictures on there too. Max has subscribed to Anne's channel and website. I told you if you thought I was geeky, I ain't got, I don't have anything on her. No. She takes it to the max. I can't even call myself an expert. I'm just a peasant around that one. Arlene loves this sock. That's my favorite sock too.
My favorite sock.
Kiwi says the blanket that she's working on is made of a variation of Osla, and she works on it every day. It's the mood one. And yeah, have you seen her mood shawl?
I have seen it.
That thing is, I need one.
In Oslo.
And it's like a working project because you can wear it while you're working on it. It's like perfect shawl length now.
But in Oslo. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's an Osla. That's a lot of work. I've only made a couple things in Osla.
She'll never freeze again though.
No. And that thing will never fall apart. I don't care how many moths find it. Let's see. Rhonda says, I have not tried Osla yet. I'm a big chicken. You can do it. Just pick up the crappy yarn and then you'll like it. But make sure it's really
pick
thin.
Up the crappy yarn.
Do the good
Pick
yarn?
up the reasonable, decent colored yarn and some
There you go.
pictures.
You too can also have a book by Ann Decker called The Osla Stitch. Just follow this 1-800 number at the bottom of your screen. I don't have any 1-800 numbers for in Denmark. It's almost like a wave of color referring to the when you used a variated yarn. More about Carl being a happy kid in the background. How is that beer going, Carl? We just want to check in with you.
It's gone.
Do you need it? Oops, wait. No, we're still looking at Susan over there. She's not drinking beer. Carl's drinking beer. Do you need more?
I think I'm about at the limit where I
Do I need to remind you where you had lunch last and how long ago it was? And how skinny you are?
Well, it's your YouTube. You know what the risks you run by giving me another beer.
I have to share a bed with you, maybe not. No.
No, I can sleep. That's no problem.
Where's the kitty
The
cat?
problem is that
Yes.
my inbuilt censorship in my brain will go on a vacation if I drink any more alcohol.
You're on vacation.
Yes, but have I said anything that would scare women
Small
and children?
Women and small children. Not yet, but we can find some. No. Let's see. Rhonda didn't manage to do any null binding on the trip. She was just in Scotland, by the way. Though she did bring Lanaloft. Oh, Lanaloft is a nice yarn. And a needle, most of the Aran vest for her nieceling. Nieceling? I like that word. More drooling on Belgian chocolate. Get-togethers, yay! It says, who said that was Rhonda? You have to do the get-togethers. I've only been able to participate from the car because it's when I'm driving home. But I got to say, you keep me awake. I have to stop less for coffee when you're on YouTube or when you're on Zoom. Let's see.
Of course, occasionally she has to stop so that she can look at the screen because I'm showing something.
I know, I have.
She's like, wait a minute, I have to pull over.
But you got the most interesting probably drive home ever. I'm talking to Anne, I'm like, there was an avalanche. I have to pull over.
We did. She's like, excuse me, I need to move a rock.
I would have loved to have the recording, but you could just see all of a sudden in the front because the camera's facing forward because you don't want to see me drive a car. It's much more fun stuff, and all of a sudden this rock goes bloop, 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 bloop. Big ice thing. It was huge. We had to pull over. The first 5 cars pull over and clear the way. I basically put on a vest and look like a big flag that says stop. Anyway, there you go. So we had an avalanche on screen. I didn't think we'd get avalanches that far south, but we did. Okay. It's the Berserker Utebiter. Oh, that's the name of the alcohol from Eger that Albert is drinking. I got a little too far back. Okay. Let's see. No. Actually, I didn't miss too much in chat. You had so much interesting to say. Nobody could be bothered to type. I love it. See, that's what happens when you're talking and I'm not. When I'm talking, they just have their own individual chat in the background. And can you make a video of how to do the Billum stitch one day, says Max. And Nele's right in front of us over there watching and writes, there is very little evidence in British Isles about Nele. I like this. And Torun is here, by the way, too. If it's not the agave plant for that South American null binding, could it be a sotol plant?
I don't recognize that particular one.
No, you have to. Now you got some little questions there to ask. One about the sotol plant, maybe, and the other one about the Billum stitch. If you can do a tutorial.
The Billum stitch. So I can do a tutorial about hourglass, and I will happily do a tutorial about hourglass someday.
Because I say I'm going to do it and I never do it.
But not right away. There is null binding out of yucca. There is null binding actually out of agave itself. There is agave null binding out of several other plant fibers in that region that are related to agave that I cannot remember the name of off the top of my head. Down in Argentina, the bags themselves are called Ica, which could be spelled Y-I-C-A or L-L-I-C-A, depending on whether you're spelling them in English or in Spanish. A lot of different regions, they have different names. They use slightly different versions of the plant with whatever's local. I have a half-written blog post somewhere, so eventually you'll see it on the blog as to which plants there are. But we have null binding in pretty much every single fiber that you find textiles in at all. There's silk null binding there. So we've got some gloves out of France that are pure silk. in the 14th century, we've got the silk line, the silk center of the mom and pennants that's been gold and silver wrapped.
Oh yeah, those are not pants.
No, they're not pants. They're pennants, i.e. dangly things.
Somebody put them on Instagram. Look, they null bound a pair of pants, and there's like 20 questions.
Yeah.
They're not pants. They're like.
You've got, we actually went to see them.
You did,
yes, recently. So we
Yesterday.
Yes,
I know,
yesterday.
I'm still catching
Just
up on
yesterday.
the pictures. I like the ones, the pictures of your mom at Tivoli, though. Those are awesome.
So, by the way, Mom makes the absolute best travel companion ever.
You hear that, Carl?
Yeah. She takes notes that I can still read 20 years later.
How old is Mom, by the way, if we can ask?
80.
Mom is 80
Mom
this
is 80.
year.
Carl, she's almost as old as you are. No, I have to.
That's Karin being mean.
I'm always mean, but he expects it now.
But for it to be a fair competition, somebody has to travel with both me and her to make up their mind.
I'll have you know I'm 3 years older than Carl.
But but yes, so we've got you've got alpaca, you've got rabbit fur of various sorts.
Oh, wow.
Up in Arizona in the ancient pueblos, they have some yucca. They also have the a kind of a cotton fiber that also is a really fascinating yarn, because they use the plant fiber to make the yarn itself, and then they have inserted or captured rabbit inside the plies or the spinning of the yarn. They're not quite sure which, and that actually
Is it like Angora?
yeah, well, it's a bit like chenille.
Oh,
It's like making a chenille yarn. It's got the
that
core
can be good and bad
then the
because every
fuzzy.
time you pulled it through.
Yeah, you end up with fuzz everywhere.
Yeah, I've done it. It was
But
like
but they make socks out of it. Well, kind of sock shoes, because sometimes they're on a sandal base and then the sock up from that.
Need to go get her?
In the 13th century-ish thereabouts. And up in the Ojibwe, up in the northeast.
That's where I come from. They have Ojibwe. But
yes.
that's not quite northeast. It's middle, but
But
it's a big area.
They in the National Museum of the American Indian in DC, they actually have in their collections some Ojibwe simple looping. It's in simple looping, but it's done in strips of rabbit fur.
Oh, cool.
And they make blankets out of it, and they make little hooded parkas and little footed trousers. There's a little toddler set that's a hooded parka and footed trousers.
I think I've seen
and
that
I
one, yeah.
want one. Oh my goodness, that looks so
I
comfy.
need one. You should try the winters in Norway. I would definitely take.
So cozy.
But then there's the question, how many rabbits did they have to catch to make one of those?
There you go.
Sizes?
There you go.
There
How many
is
rabbits did it take?
there is that problem. There is that problem.
We got somebody representing Greenpeace over there. See?
But we've got null binding in wool. You've got like the milk strainers are in horsetail or cowtail hair or pig bristle. Those also are used for outer snow gripping socks up in the north. So they're socks, but they aren't meant to go on your skin.
No.
They're meant to go.
Over
You
your
put your sock on, then you put your shoe on, and then you put the tegel sock on the outside
We
side.
call them shoe socks in Norwegian.
Yes, to help keep you help keep you a little warm, and B, provide grip on the ice.
We got a little bug.
I'm getting all kinds of bugs all over the place.
Welcome to Denmark.
Yes.
I got it. It's dead.
Yay. The place that we're staying.
Yeah.
Wool moths. I found wool moths on my coats this morning.
Oh, freezer.
And I can't do that for another couple of days, but guess what? When I get home, all of it's
Hot
going
sun?
all of it's going in the
Yeah, and I'll throw it all in the freezer. Right
all
away
of
and
it's
you'll be
going
good.
in the freezer. Which means all of my lovely little hats and stuff.
Or pack them well in plastic, but
Yeah.
plastic can felt them if it's in plastic too long.
But so there's going to be
Might have
that.
to throw
But
the meat out.
yeah, well,
Screw the meat, save the wall.
I'll throw them in your freezer.
I gotta show it.
The only thing that's likely to be in there is half of a smoked turkey, and we can just eat that.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta see something here.
Blueberry.
Still some blueberry?
Well, yeah.
What are you doing, Ingela?
I'm doing a survey of how many connection stitches can you make for
That's
the
right.
Oslo.
Oh, you gotta talk about that. I forgot.
This is
You're a brave
the
woman.
141st connection stitch.
To the Oslo stitch only.
Totally Oslo stitch
140 you're at?
only. 141, I think this
Okay.
is.
You have to show us the one you're doing currently. What is this connection? I'll go over your head here somehow.
What is this connection? This connection
you are.
is going upwards in between
Yeah?
and downwards. It's a bit quirky.
Yeah. Oops.
I'm
sorry.
just
It's
doing-
hard to do it around a camera too.
Yeah. Going upwards with this one and
Yep.
going downwards in front of the working row that way. So it's not a very practical connections. I'm getting into the non-practical connections now.
Well, we can't all be practical.
Now,
Some might be dull. But what does it look like when you're done
so
there?
I'm hopefully writing a paper about it. Let's do. So this looks like this.
That's so cool. How many rows did you do? 2?
2 rows.
Only 2 rows and it looks like that.
And I have some other
Oh yeah, you got.
examples. And these are all the Oslo stitch, but different connections.
Okay, I don't know who's more patient, Angela, Anne or Ingela. You guys both have more patience than I do.
These are 5 of the different.
5 of the
connections.
140 that you have done so far.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So if it doesn't turn into a paper, I might write a book about it.
There you are.
Yeah.
You could do a book.
And it's important because, unbeknownst to Ingela, one of the particular connection stitches that she actually brought into the room, I believe, probably to show off, also happens to be the stitch that's in the Kalmar glove.
Ah!
I finally figured it out, but again, we have to wait for that to get someplace to publish it to.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking. I'll be buying that booklet or a book or whatever.
We'll come up with something.
I would
Yeah.
see that too.
So the Kalmar glove was found in the moat, I believe, of the Kalmar castle.
Yeah.
In
on YouTube.
in Sweden, and it is currently located in the Statens Historiska Museet, and it is one of several Nalbinding pieces that I got to see on Monday in their collections and look at and examine those. I will have to come back because one day is not enough time to examine all of the Nalbinding in the Statens Historiska Museet. Some of the
Patient.
some of the, well, I would love to go back to Stockholm. Let's just put it that way. This is not a hardship except for the expense. So, you know, I do have a Patreon as well in case anybody wants to support the research.
She's smart.
Because getting back across the ocean does take a bit of work, but and there is more to be seen in those pieces in the Statens Historiska Museet because they have several fragments as well that actually have embroidery on them, and they are medieval. They are
Yeah.
like 14th century.
I was gonna say, it's hard to find a Viking embroidery, but medieval, yeah.
with embroidery on the Nalbinding, which we
Like
don't
the-
have an awful lot of. So.
No, like the mittens, but the
Like
mittens
mittens
that we
and
find
stuff.
in the Scandinavia, for example, with all the embroidery, but they're
Right.
much more modern.
Right.
So that's quite cool to find some from the 14th century.
Yes. So that's going to be fun. I got to see the first of those fragments actually when I went to go. My first examinations were in 1999, and the
Yeah.
first places I went was the Statens Historiska Museet. And most of what I learned was that I didn't know enough about what I was doing in 1999 to actually be able to understand
That's
what
just
I was
because we get smarter with age, we get wiser.
what I was looking at. And so, and I had the added problem of the fact that my camera was taking triple exposures. So I don't,
right.
I don't even have really good photographs that I could look at later about those objects once I had learned some more. So
Yeah.
this was kind of going home and seeing old friends. I went to Odense to
Yeah.
go look at the Odense mitten because in 1999 it was in the Statens Historiska Museet.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the other one because it's still in conservation right now.
Yeah.
But I had seen it when I was in 1999, and it is heavily felted, so there's not that I would have been able
Oh,
to
it'd be
tell
hard
a
to
lot
see,
about
yeah.
it anyway. And then I got to see the fragments as well, which was it was really nice. because I had seen them, so I knew to look for the embroidery. And knowing that and being able to see things better now than I could then, I found out that one of the ones that I had seen that I hadn't noticed had embroidery has just a little bit of edge treatment. So that was cool too.
You have to see what people are doing here. Just a sec, I will turn camera around. There we go. Because we saw we got Maria too. Okay, Anne, what are you doing? You're going to be Beer Belgian Anne from now on. There you can see. You got to. Whoops.
Chocolate.
My cord got stuck. There we are. You have to show what you're making here. And don't worry, I can't translate for you, so you can just English it is. What are you making now?
I'm trying to make some kind of bilum.
You're doing the bill. Oh,
yeah,
this is quite
she
a
is
cool.
doing a
You
bill.
got to see this. Let's see. It's
In the Belgian
you can see it through the handprint there. Look at that. In the Belgian, you said?
group that that I go to once a month,
Yeah?
the lady has a book, Create Your Own Bilum.
Creature. Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's the Australian.
Yeah,
Yeah. That might be where I've heard it.
and I'm trying to.
And you've got the tape we were talking about, the paper tape.
No, this is
Or is it
packing material.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's like a zip, not a zip tie, but what the heck?
No, it's like that they put around the box.
Oh,
To
packing.
keep
Yeah,
it-
yeah. That was
So,
smart, but that's what we were talking about with the taping thing, where you use it to measure your stitches. How do you like it?
I like it.
It's gonna be Billum from now on for you. Pregnant pause.
No, there are going to be lots of other things.
Yeah.
But first, I try this.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're doing awesome.
The Papua New Guineans actually have declared Bilum for themselves as a cultural tradition that they are relatively protective of. So, I mean, hourglass is used in many places other than just there, but you might want to be a little careful about using their term.
Rhonda says moth invasions are evil, and Rhonda Hegman says, "Is Erica T at the festival? Does anybody know Erica T? Erika?
She could not make it.
She could not make it. Oh. And then you've got Raymond, by the way.
Her
Roberts.
book did make it, by
Her
the way,
did?
though.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
there was. I saw the book down there. Raymond Roberts on Instagram is called Prime Bunny. I just wanted to, prep you for this one. He says, "Not the bunny for no bright eyes burning like fire. Bright eyes. How does the light that burned so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes." There you go, Raymond. No bunnies were harmed for the making of this YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, Rhonda says that the use with it was available. Outer Bologna is here. Karl is still dreaming of your Lithuanian beer with the banana jammed into the Guinness, or what you called it. Yep, no. Yep. He's only cheating on you a little bit, Outer, with this Belgian over here.
It's like milder version
there you
of
are.
design. Not so much banana and not so much alcohol. More bear-like.
So here, just a second, let me turn it around so they can see you. Say that again, Karl, so they can hear you. What she can hear you.
This is like a milder version of the Lithuanian thing.
So this is, Belgian is Diet Lithuanian.
No, it's more bear-like than the Lithuanian thing.
It does have a little bit of a banana hint to it.
It does, but
Yeah.
not as enormously as the Lithuanian one.
When you wave the bottle around, I
And
can
it's
smell it.
also not quite as strong.
No, it was the,
So I'm not using my adult words yet.
no. Not made for children. Let's see. Turn this again. I'm not used to having a cord on this thing, so it's catching quite a bit. Rhonda says, Ojibwe wove blankets made from strips of rabbit fur. Anne just said that. See, you have someone backing you up. Kiwi says, does the Nalbound silk garment from France have a name? Do you know?
The Nalbound silk garment from France is Pierre de Corpulet's gloves.
One more time. Pierre de...
Corpulet, Palay. He has some lovely silk gloves. There's one in what used to be called the Cluny, and one in Amiens in the library.
Not to be confused with George Clooney. Raymond says, gold pants, laugh out loud. Oh, for the mom and... for the, the mom and stitch. Let's see, what else was there? Okay, what are you doing, Nele? We have to say hi to Nele. Nele's she's on YouTube and she's here too. Just a minute, we have to, there we go. Look, She's multitasking to the degree here. You can see the delay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I know.
I'll put it on your hand. Okay, first you can say hi. Whoop, there you are. Ah. The gimbal has been drinking.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hi.
It's Finland. It's you're too close to the North Pole. I don't know. I'm making shit up as I go along.
I would say Norway is closer to Northern Pole than
We are,
Finland,
actually,
because
yeah.
you know you are above us as well. There,
Yeah.
you know.
No, we do. But
Norway has polar bears. Finland doesn't.
we do have polar bears. We have Svalbard. Let's see. Now everybody's puking because I got turned around. Okay, now what are you doing?
I don't know.
You don't know?
We'll see.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
You do tiny. You made me socks with the most tiny stitches I've ever seen. Look at that. How many stitches did it take you to get around that thing?
I haven't counted.
You have to count. I have expectations.
Yeah.
Look at this thing. That's like a hat for me, all those stitches. It's a completed hat. Okay.
It's a cinnamon bun cover.
It's a cinnamon bun cover. I like it.
No, it's mainly just this. I can match up.
And
the
hoop
size.
snakes, says Raymond. Arlene says we have polar bears here too. She does. She's in Canada, by the way. She's in Winnipeg. Then we have Anne's mom. Okay, I have to say hi to you.
Ruth.
It's Ruth. Okay, we can call you Ruth. Okay, Ruth.
Yes.
Spill the beans on Anne. How is it like traveling with Anne? Is it okay?
She's lovely.
She's
Yes,
you're not
she's
just
very
saying that because she can
patient.
hear you.
Oh,
No, she can't hear you. She's sitting over there hiding. See, look at her over there. Is she taking good care of you, Mom?
she's taking good care of me.
And you're taking notes because her writing sucks?
She nods her head, yes.
Are you the one responsible for all the photos that are being taken on her Facebook?
No, she is.
She is? You guys are both?
Mine.
No. This time, Mommy, I've been making you take.
Oh.
I take mine, but the ones I've been posting are yours.
Oh,
Yeah, she's been
okay.
posting yours. Yeah. No. How did you
Yes.
like Tivoli? I saw you went on the. Tivoli is a big circus in Copenhagen city center.
And it's bigger on the inside than the outside.
It is bigger on the inside. I don't know how they do that.
I don't know how
It's
they
only
do
in
it,
Denmark. But you went in a maze. You went in a hall of mirrors.
In a fun house.
In a fun house.
Fun house. With
And you found your way
big
out?
Steps. Oh yeah, straight through the hall of mirrors, and
She went through the hall of mirrors. See, they had them hall.
She cheated. She looked at the floor.
That's what I did. I don't call that cheating. I call that being smart.
I agree.
Oh, the Mall of America.
I, on the other hand, almost followed the wrong mother at one point.
Any mom will do in a crisis, honey.
Oh no, that was
That's a mirror.
Oh, I like that. What other rides did you go on, or did you go on? You do more than I do. I've been...
She made me go on a roller coaster.
Oh, I can't go on roller coasters anymore. My brain shakes inside my head. It got looser as I got older.
We were careful. It wasn't a crazy roller coaster.
Yeah?
It was still a roller coaster.
Yeah. Did you find the Little Mermaid? You can't come to
Not this time.
No, we didn't go there this time.
Not the, no?
No,
Or is it
I've seen her twice.
You've seen her twice. Did you find Hans Christian Andersen?
No, I was looking for a geocache that's got a
That's right, you do
full-life
geocaching.
statue that is of him seated looking at something.
Yeah?
And if I had found that statue, I would be able to see what he was looking at and report on it.
There's still time, right? When are you going back?
There's still time. We'll be there after the festival, just before we fly out.
But not very long, because we're going to Lund to go look at the Lund.
That's right! Ingela. Oh, they're over there getting their geek on in Sweden. Lund with the same stitch as Oslo. Oslo is also called Lund for the reason.
And Oslo Nuutinen is not in Oslo.
No, it's not!
Because
Yeah? Okay, they can
It's
reach
called
it.
a Lund stitch.
Lund.
Sometimes you add an A between because it's easier to pronounce. Lund, vanten.
Lund, yeah.
Yeah, but I would call it the Lund stitch.
You would call it the Lund stitch, yeah?
But
Yeah.
Lund is the city, but they add this A in between when it's easier to pronounce. Lunda.
Yeah, they do that in Norwegian too.
Yeah, it's the A.
The Swedes adds the A.
The Swedes add the A, the Norwegians add an
English
E.
stole the word and didn't bother.
So
No.
it's not the Lunda stitch. It's the Lund stitch.
Not the Lunda stitch, but the Lund stitch. Sometimes they add an A if you didn't catch that. Because
Accepting
the Swedish
Oslo
language will add an A
is
to make it easier to say, and the
stitch,
Norwegians will add
and
an
I'm
E.
not naming it after that farm in Iceland.
Oh,
I can't
there's a fight
pronounce
going
that
on
word.
over there. We're getting back to that. So you coming back to us again soon? You got to come to Norway now.
We do.
You have to come to Gudvangen. It's nice and cold.
There is a slight possibility. There is a slight possibility that next April or May, assuming that a grant comes in, that there might be a small conference on Roman and Byzantine era textiles in Oslo that I will need to attend.
Oh, you might have to do that, and I can just put you in my car for 6 hours and take you to Gudvangen.
Exactly.
No problem.
Yes.
Over a mountain range or two. We'll be fine.
Lots of pictures.
Lots. We got reindeer.
Yay.
Yay,
Beautiful pills.
Huh?
You might want to think of a bus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
People can
Right,
go on.
right.
Oh, yeah. We can do
We'll all show up.
Oh, maxi taxi this sucker. Greyhound it is. Okay. So where's your needle binding, by the way, Mom?
All at home.
I'll let him. You're smart. Then the moths would have gotten it if you had it. Okay, we're going to see what Susan's doing, too. Ooh, you're making it almost looks like a belt. Is this a sweater? Because that's going to take forever.
Yeah, Mobius scarf.
Oh, it's a Mobius scarf. Yeah, I see the twist.
So
But your
it's,
stitches are so
it's right
tiny,
there.
and your yarn is gorgeous.
Yeah, I got it at a medieval
you
market
can see
event in Germany.
Look at the.
And
It's,
it's
you
home.
can tell it's hand dyed.
Yeah, hand dyed. It's really
Is
nice.
this potty blue? Is it the blue?
The
The
blue.
woad? No, could be potty blue. You know they have to use urine to make this.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Drunken men,
Oh,
ages
goody.
35 to 55.
No, I don't want to
Redhead.
make it anymore.
You don't want it.
Or small boys.
Or small boys.
But
Oh, look how pretty.
it's interesting. The
And you're
dark-
doing Dalby.
Yeah.
I recognize the Dalby stitch. Now, if you can see that
So
there.
I think I'll do
If I turn this maybe.
Take a look at
three
her belt as well.
Yeah.
rows of the light and 1 row of the dark.
Yeah. Oh, we
And
can do
then
this.
I did this quite a while ago. In the Osla stitch.
Oh, wow. You guys with your Olsen, you're going crazy. I tried to
Well-
demonstrate it once. I'm like, crap, how's that stitch go again? I don't know if you caught that.
Well, this was supposed to be a scarf, and after like
I like
2
the effect.
inches, I'm like, okay, belt.
Yeah. Arlene says, by the way, I love all the Viking dresses and the apron dresses. Not something I can see very often. That's right. Welcome. Oh, Pruda made it, by the way. Better late than never. That's okay. We're going to go at least 2 hours on this sucker.
We have about half an hour left.
At least, yeah. And then half an hour, they might just ditch us. But I did say,
2 hours
yeah,
or
we did 2 hours. I wrote, well, there's no way
oh.
we can do this in 1 hour.
Yeah,
It takes
the,
Carl an hour just to drink beer.
the hood.
Oh my crap! Did you make this?
Yeah, that's that.
Holy!
Touch it.
Oh my God! This is like
Put it on.
You think you could fit over me? You're being very nice. Oh no, it's a hood. It's oh my. Okay, no, we're wearing this sucker.
Put it on.
I don't care how red my skin is. We can do this.
Okay.
Due to heat. Okay. Ah. All right. Oh! You might not get it back. I need it. It's mine now. It's my one, my only, my precious. Look how cool! Look at the stitching.
Yeah, that was.
Jesus, was this all in the while you were waiting to get your papers ready for in Germany? You had to have something to. And it's Oslo, but it's so
about a year
tiny.
Before that, I guess I did it. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
And
it
you
was
did the
pretty
edges and
intensive.
everything.
Yeah, I covered the edges because those I made as tubes and cut
Good to
them.
see. Oh, I'm gonna actually take it off, and I'm gonna regret it because now I have to give it back to you, and I don't want to. But did you do like one piece this way, or?
Yeah, I did one piece that
if
way
you can
in a
see.
tube, and then I cut it.
Ah, yep. So you do what I would do then too.
Yeah, and then the 2 squares
How did
I
you do
did
the squares?
together in a tube and cut them.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah.
So you're like
But-
me. You like steeking.
Yeah, sort of.
Steeking
But
is the.
Ingela's class in squares would have been a much better way to do it.
Oh, but look at your
But she
overstitching too is nice. Where you have your overlap too. It's quite
Well,
cool.
that's
The
that's-
joining, thank
that's
you.
a
Yeah, that's
piece.
the. I used
a
to speak
separate
English.
piece that I covered it.
Yeah, no, but I like the way you covered it. I think that's either a happy accident or a really good intention, because it looks. No, you be proud of that. You own that one, Susan. Let's see. Turn it this way. Ah, we're going up when I want to go down. I did not drink. There you go. Yet. It has to be pure alcohol for me, but that's okay. I can have vodka.
So
But that is really cool. So what else did you bring? You came all the way from Germany for this, but originally Adirondacks, just because I like to say
well,
Adirondacks.
this isn't knoll binding, but this is a bog jacket.
Oh, what is a bog jacket? Somebody in a bog wore it and they found it and you have it?
Yeah, it was on a bog body, but
this actual piece was on a
You
bottle.
take a square and
I'm playing with you.
you cut. You cut the sleeve first, and then
Yeah.
you fold the body in,
Yep.
and then you do the sleeves over.
I know this one. Have you? It's
Yeah.
similar, but have you ever heard of the Elizabeth Zimmerman baby surprise jacket? It's a knitting pattern.
I think it might be very similar.
You know what that
to-
is? Yeah, it's almost like
very
origami.
similar.
You make this like 5 or 6 pointed piece, and it looks just like this really messed up dishcloth. And then when you
Yeah.
fold it all up, all of a sudden you have a cardigan.
Yeah, very
It's
similar.
the baby surprise, but then there was such a hit that Elizabeth Zimmerman's pattern that they made. She had to make one called the adult. There's another one called Baby Einstein or the Einstein. Oh, they're just. It's like, it's cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's very ingenious, and the only fabric you waste is the circle you cut out for your neck. Otherwise, you're using.
Yeah,
That
make
is so
that into
cool.
a pouch,
Fabric.
and then you don't have any waste at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
I think
Right.
that the idea of it is also from the find from Borum Ishøj in Denmark.
The find is from where in Denmark?
I think it's Borum Ishøj.
Borum. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one. That's the one.
Isn't
with
it
the skirt,
B-O-H-L-O-M-I?
isn't it?
Oh, the string
Yeah.
skirt
Yeah, the
and
string
her
skirt.
top is very.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah,
the
it's
top
very
is
similar cut.
to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how are you liking Germany now? It's not quite Adirondacks. I'm just saying the word Adirondacks. Any excuse to say
I like
Adirondacks.
it. I like it. The beer is good. The beer.
Carl!
Very,
You and Susan can sit and drink beer together in Germany. It'll be great. I got
very
plans.
cheap. It's like 75 cents a bottle. You know,
Oh,
those
wow.
designer ones you get in the U.S. for $9.99.
Ah, if it
So,
fits in
I
my
like
purse.
that. And the wine is almost all below 5. I like that too.
You got a dark side. I like it. Okay, I gotta go see what Maria's doing over there because she's been hiding and waiting for me to come down. And here I am an hour and a half later, still up here. I blame Anne.
But my tent is almost clean now.
Your tent is almost clean. We can go look at your tent unless you want to stay up here. Okay, this, you have to say who you are because I have known you for years and did not get to meet you until today.
Yeah.
It's Maria.
Yeah.
Who are you? You're the founder of all Nalbinding Facebook that existed.
Oh, I wish.
No, you are. I think almost all of the pages. Anyway, I just creep in to say, no, really, I'm from Germany.
I just moderated everything eventually. Who am I? I began needlebinding in 2007. Began writing booklets in 2009, and still working.
He's getting his tobacco fix.
And still working tirelessly. I'm
Yeah.
writing on a new one for later.
You've been needlebinding forever.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not forever, because I think it's only 10, 12 years from me now, but you're like into more than, you're like 20, aren't you?
2007.
2007, okay.
Yeah. So I'm having.
1996.
Yeah.
God, I'm not feeling expert enough here. No, I started at 2011, I think is when I started, yeah.
I started actually Nalbinding in 1996.
Yeah?
I learned about Nalbinding in 1991, but I didn't learn how to Nalbind until 1996.
Oh my God. In 1996, I was getting ready to come to Norway. But yeah, you have it. There's the American one, which is Nalbinding, and now Nalbinding 2.0.
That I'm not a part of.
I'm
just in the group.
Yep.
Yeah.
And but you've got the other ones with all, because you split up in foreign languages. Then I decided I'm from Sweden, I'm from United States, I'm from.
I tried that. She wouldn't let me.
She didn't kick me yet. I keep waiting. 5 years later, she still hasn't kicked me. But I can speak Swedish, and I can.
Yeah, so can I.
I was in Sweden.
And I am a part of the market for the Swedish and the Norwegian
Yeah,
paper.
but the reason.
She likes me more than you.
But the reason
noticed.
for them, for
reason,
the
yes.
Nordic ones, is to make sure that we know how many people in our Nordic countries are doing needlebinding. If we ever want to get needlebinding patterns into the women's magazines that we have every week.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to put us in unless they know how many readers will buy it.
Oh.
I would buy it too, though.
I would.
But you can't get them.
Yes, I can, because you will send them to me.
So we'll buy out hundreds to send out everywhere. Yeah. But I did get needlebinding in one of them because they made an article about me in 2016.
Yay!
3 pages. I have them in A3 pattern size.
But that's
in
so
my
good
tent.
though.
Yeah,
Because you brought a lot of attention to needlebinding.
I did.
I didn't
did.
even know what it was, but I was really glad there was Facebook pages and that you had it out there and everything.
Yeah.
That's why your name sticks out so much from the beginning, because when I was starting to do this, there was like 3 needle binding tutorials on YouTube, and then I was not aware that there was more than one stitch, so I'm sitting here getting pissed off and throwing it at the wall. It took me a month to finally get a hold of needle binding, and then I realized 3 videos, 3 different stitches. No wonder I was getting confused. So I guess if you ever use a video, stick to the one. And
Use
then
the same
move on.
name.
But then Sana made her
Yeah.
How do you say that, Nele? How do you pronounce that page? Nöjlakentat or whatever?
Neulakintaat.
Neulakintat. Okay, so we go finish. I like that. I almost got that right, actually.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
So what did she say instead?
Hakuna Matata. Okay, continue. I interrupted.
Yeah, I was pre-Senna. I wrote a lot to her in the beginning.
Yeah.
So we talked about different things. So yeah.
Yeah, so you brought a lot of attention to the needle binding community.
We had an email list before
Yeah.
Facebook happened.
We did. I used a Yahoo list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
that's right.
no.
Back in the
It was
days of
an
Yahoo.
e-groups
Oh,
list
yeah.
before it became a
Yeah.
Yahoo list.
Yeah.
So it was an e-groups list before it became a Yahoo groups list when e-groups went out. I started that actually in 2000. I started that in 2000 when I went off to China for a year for school, and I wanted to continue talking null binding to people who would be interested in null binding, and so I started a null binding e-groups list, and that ran for 10 years until Facebook pretty much took over it, and email groups don't really exist much anymore. But it was great fun.
We haven't written in it in a long time, but I'm still a member, I think.
Yes, well, actually, I think they pretty much killed it. Yahoo Groups has decided to stop doing it.
Probably,
but I
yeah.
do still have the archives, so if anyone's interested in what we chatted about, hiding around a long time ago. But there was very good
Pre-Facebook.
information, very
Yeah.
good information that we shared back and forth that way, and all around the world, which was a good and useful thing.
Yeah.
But now we have Facebook groups and chats and our Zoom things and all kinds of stuff at different times.
Different ways of connecting.
Different ways of connecting. Yes, yes. And more things get published about null binding, which in 2000 there was not very much. So.
But there's lots online now because of YouTube. Both you and Maria. And Maria's got the advent calendar.
Yeah, but that's not YouTube.
No.
Oh, but it's on the internet, so it counts.
It's a blog. Yeah.
It's a blog, but you have lots of patterns on there.
Yeah.
How old is that Christmas calendar now?
I made the first one by myself in 2015.
Yeah, and you did 24.
Nope, I did 4.
You only did 4.
I
That's
did
right.
4.
Okay, you have to explain what the advent calendar is, by the way, for those who don't know.
The advent calendar is something we do every year. I'm not sure how many people enjoy it. I don't see many people downloading the
Rose over
papers.
here waving her hand in the air
Yeah.
like she just don't care.
Some years we do 24 patterns, Christmas related. It's been a while, but now we do 4 for each Advent Sunday in December.
Yeah.
So Christmas related patterns or ideas for gifts that you can make before Christmas.
We had some really good ones and we had some really interesting ones. I made a candle once and we were laughing our asses off because we thought it looked more like a historical accurate tampon.
And I would say the Nisse that I did extra last year, I also had a big laugh out.
Did you? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was true. We had some fun ones.
Yeah, we did. We have many patterns. I have a few of them hanging in my tent.
Oh, I was almost going to bring the cowl I made Karl wear on the last one. Or no, 2 years. That was 2 years ago. I think.
The
That was when you were
Outlander.
wearing the beard.
The Outlanderish.
The Outlanderish cowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to take the concept of going vertical with it and adding inserts in. How many calendar now? Is it
Since 2015.
so 16, 17,
8.
18, 19?
This is the 8th year.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
a lot of patterns.
Oh yeah.
Was it 2 of them that went 24?
I actually don't remember.
What the hell are you supposed to have this information? I don't come to Denmark every day.
Yeah.
I'm just
I could
kidding.
look it
If
up,
you want
but I'm not
particular
sure.
information, you send the
Ahead of
request.
time.
Oh!
Yeah.
Jesus, I can't even get my payment here ahead of time without payment.
Otherwise, I would ask Eva because
Yeah.
she's the one that layouted all of them.
Ava Bolander, that
Yeah.
lady never sleeps.
Yeah, no, she
corrects everything.
always writes me at 10, 11 at night.
She
when,
does too.
when I go to bed.
But
Yeah.
she's in Sweden, isn't she?
Yeah, but it's the same time zone.
I know, so what the hell?
Yeah, see, I have an excuse when I write her at 10, 11 o'clock at night.
She's up at 1, 2 a.m. I haven't fallen asleep yet. Is this the way you want your pattern to look? And I'm the idiot going, yeah, no, that's right. I'm like. Have you ever met Ava Bolander, by the way?
Nope.
Aw. She's also the one behind the Pinterest picture that I love about putting a sweater together.
Exactly.
That
That we also have in the sweater group.
Yeah, it's in the sweater group, yeah.
Yeah. Null binding sweater, a stitch along or
She
something
has a really
like
good sketch for starting at the bottom and starting at the top.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things I've linked a lot when trying to refer to a sweater. So she should be here. What on the round is she here too? On the round, what's her
No,
name?
she can't make it this weekend.
Man, I was getting excited.
She's the one that makes all my drawings for our joint text for the yellow booklets. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to show your booklets later.
Yeah.
So do I get to bring some back for the Gudvangen shop?
All the ones you want.
Okay. English
Because
there.
I need to bring an extra table
Yeah.
back to my back home, and I don't have room in my car.
No, it's good. Carl gets to carry my luggage. It's okay.
So all the ones you want, you can have.
No, it's gonna.
There's a few of mine extra too if you're...
I got brown cheese
Playing
for
that,
yours.
yes.
I'm paying for yours in
Yes.
cheese. And Carl had to bring that all the way from Gudvangen because I forgot. Public transportation, though.
They have brown cheese in the shops here.
But it's
Yeah.
not from Undredal, which is next to Viking.
Actually, I think they are.
Are they?
I think I remember seeing.
I got the super
seeing a
special
pack-
actually
package.
from
Undredal.
Undredal directly.
One tunnel away from Gudvangen.
I was a little bit worried because I was traveling with all my tip money from the since COVID
You would let
started.
me have to bring the
So I
camera
had
closer
a
to you.
big wad of euros and dollars. And then I have this big block of brown substance.
So if you can't hear him over there, now you say it again then, Carl, because the microphone's facing you now. Why did this look questionable when you came from Gudvangen with her cheese?
I had all my tip money. So
For like 6 years tip
it was an enormous wad of dollars and euros. Most of it is ones, so it's not as impressive as it sounds. But it was like this big stack of money.
Yeah, with at least 5 currencies.
Yeah. And then I had this big block of Undredal cheese that I don't think people outside of this general area knows what is.
So you're bringing a big bag of brown substance and a big wad of cash.
Yes.
We put that under the plane. No, we didn't put the money under the plane, though, just the brown. Anyway, you're going to love it, Anne.
Excellent.
So what did customs say?
What did customs? No, we didn't get any in customs. Denmark doesn't even want to check my passport.
But I had some-
But you worked so hard to make sure that
know.
it was good.
I did. Well, no, they'll check it on the way back in. Now, they'll let you out of the country, no problem. But if they let you back into Norway, that's another thing.
But isn't Norway a Schengen country?
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
Schengen, so they might
Yeah,
not check
so
it. but-
that's why they don't check their passport because also Denmark is a Schengen country.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So it could be that, but
Yeah.
if they do need to anyway, then it would take longer for me to get through if my residence permit isn't up to date. So
Yeah.
they'd let me through, but they'd have to look
Yeah,
at the
sort of like
computer
because
system.
when you would actually book a flight,
Yeah.
the system would mark you so
Yeah.
that they want to speak with you if
Yeah.
you don't have a residence permit.
I got a stern talking to because I didn't take my toilet bag out of, you have all of your little bottles in the plastic bag. All set up separate in a Ziploc bag and it's sitting in my luggage and I didn't take it out and put it in the tray next to my bag. They yelled at me for that. It took 5 minutes extra for me to go through this bag. If you would have just taken it out, it would have been much faster. You have to think about these things. But I put it in a clear bag so you could find it immediately. Anyway.
Well, I mean, Helsinki these days have the new machines.
Yeah.
You're allowed to bring any liquid through that you want.
Oh, really?
Any amount of it that you want. So it's like, and you didn't tell this before I went through the security?
Right.
I mean, I would have liked to have a bottle of water with me.
Oh, no, every time I bring a bottle of water, I have to...
I
dump it
was
out.
shocked out
They
of
stole my
mind.
empty bottle. I had a bottle of water that we had drunk all the way through, and as it went through, it wasn't there when I got to the other side.
What were you saying, Carl?
I was shocked out of my mind when I saw you all of a sudden take up 100 milliliters of antibac and start antibacking your hands on the plane. I'm just going,
They let you do that.
yes, I get it, but
I wasn't going to drink it.
what do you think I could do to a plane with 100 milliliters of cyanidroglycerin, for instance?
Not everybody is as creepy as you are, Carl.
Remember,
No,
Are you taking a plane back?
These rules are specifically meant to stop people who are as creepy as I am.
Are you planning to take a plane back?
Yes.
Swimming.
Maybe we leave the anti-bac behind. Speaking of planes, how was getting your needles over? How did you guys do this?
Plastic.
Plastic needle. Yeah. What did you do, Ann?
Metal needle, but I tend to
Yeah,
wrong
you got
one.
the bone?
Yeah.
Wooden needle.
Wooden needle. Yeah.
Metal needle, but I keep mine in my in my in my calling card carrier, and so you know, metal on metal, small piece. That's obvious what it is. So
To fit in that thing.
Yeah, yours doesn't.
as one should.
So basically, you can bring weapon as long as you remember to put it in your assassination kit.
Susan, how did you get your needles here?
Well,
Did you fly
they
with them?
came on the ship.
They came on the ship. Oh,
with
you
all
took
my
a ferry.
stuff.
Yeah.
No, with all my moving stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then she took a train.
Oh, you took a train. Yeah.
Up here? Yeah.
Yes.
We had
Yeah.
a passive-aggressive train driver too.
Oh.
By the way, yesterday. You want to tell that story, Carl?
Yeah, no, he was probably annoyed. Everything was late, and then he stops like 5 minutes from Odense, and he goes, "Okay, we have to wait for the train." Then the train passes, and the train we are in is shaking because it passes very fast. And then he comes back on the radio and he says, "Apparently it was more than one train." So we still have to wait for another 5 to 10 minutes. And then 2 other trains go by and shake the train, and then he goes, "Okay, now we can go to Odense."
Which was another 2 minutes.
So it's a lot of passive aggressiveness in the collective transport these days.
I put my needles under the plane, to be honest. But I didn't do any needle binding on the plane because I screwed up my. I thought it was my arm. I thought it was tendonitis. It turns out it's my neck.
Oh.
I got a prolapse in my neck, and that's why my arm is messed up. But it's weird. I did something happened in the mid-flight over on the way out of Oslo to here anyway. All of a sudden, it was no longer shooting pain like it normally is, but I was losing feeling in my fingers instead. But I'll take numbness over that pain any day. So. Anyway, helping the ibuprofen.
I didn't end up doing any null binding because I thought I was going to be preparing the presentation for tomorrow about null binding around the world.
Oh,
But
is there passive aggressiveness going on here?
no. It's just that I'm not really good at managing to do much of anything on a plane. So tomorrow's presentation is going to be a little more ad hoc.
Yeah.
Extemporaneous, yes.
Oh my God, your English is so much better than mine. You've got big words. I'm like.
I'm sitting next to the engineer.
Oh, that's true. She is a good travel companion. You could be a lot like Carl.
Except she doesn't drink beer.
No, that's okay. Well, we could try.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna catch up on chat here a little bit. Sorry, that was my rag. Okay, let's see. Oh, we got lots of stuff here. Rhonda says, Spin-Off Magazine had a nice piece back in 2018. Did you see that one? The needle bindings?
I didn't see it because nobody sent it to me.
It's now online. You can find it online. I can't remember her name. Penelope. Anyway, no, not that one. So different one. Yes. So anyway, Holloway, something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The spin-off article is now online. She's actually managed to be spin-off itself has placed it online, so it is possible to get it. I am hoping that she has made the adjustments since it went online, and I do think you actually saw it because you were not the only one, as I called out in private, but a bunch of people were no mittens in Mammen.
Right. Oh. That I remember.
Okay.
That I remember.
No, I would like to see that one. Let's see.
At least historical ones.
Yeah.
At least historical. Okay, we're gonna look at the pile here.
Mom and Stitch is named.
Yeah, enough of that.
Prude, a link to your calendar, by the way, Maria. Yay. Let's see, I have to keep going back. Carl traveling with a bunch of singles. They must think he's a stripper.
What?
You were. You totally made the gimbal go messy. Just a minute now.
He did say they were tips.
They were tips. You were traveling with a bunch of singles, and they are tips.
He didn't say singles, but he did say tips.
No, he did say a lot of them were singles. He did.
It was, because when you bought cosmetics for your daughter,
Yeah.
the value didn't decrease much, but the size of the wad
Yeah.
decreased a lot.
So they can't hear you, but yeah, I told my kids that we're sitting with this. Ooh, that's massively zoomed in. All this tip money that he's collected from like 2017 to 2023, and it's all in different foreign currencies anyway, and all these different ones. But one thing is, when you get to tax free, you can dump all the bills. So like, so I thought this will be a fun thing for my kid because this is a big wad of cash, and it's like free money because it's not in a bank account, nothing to do with it. So we pick up Dior. She got to have her very own Dior makeup. My God, 1,000 kroner for 2 lip glosses. I tell you, this is, I don't know. So it's a really huge thing for her anyway, but I went to pay for it. And I used 5 British pounds, Danish 50, that was an impressive one. And about $30 in ones and the rest in 5s from United States anyway. And there you go. Carl's wad is a lot later.
Danish 50 is like 5.
It is like $5, yeah. Well, it used to be until, but then the Danish kroner is doing really well. Or is it the Norwegian kroner is doing really poorly?
Swedish and Norwegians are doing poorly.
Swedish and Norwegians are doing poorly, reports the Finlander.
And the Swede.
And the Swede, yeah.
Actually, the Dane, because I need to buy more Swedish kroners now.
Yeah, you do. You need to come to Norway now, save.
I'm getting so full. Now it's the best time to travel to Norway or to Sweden because the crowns are so poor.
Oh, but it's actually right. Yeah, Nele was saying that now's the best time to travel to Norway because the kroner is so horrible right now. And this is actually quite true. We've had a lot of people paying with cash lately in our store.
It doesn't matter what I pay with because they're paying in Norwegian kroner.
Yeah, they are paying in Norwegian kroner, so it doesn't matter how. Yeah, you're right.
Well, it might matter because it depends on the credit card.
Yeah, the credit card too.
So like, the deal can be very good today, and then it can be very poor in 2 days.
Yeah.
When the credit card company
No,
actually
but
decides
you
to
can
do it.
pretty much trust the Norwegian government that the Norwegian crown is going to be bad until the next election.
Norway and Finland are discussing politics. No, not quite. Currency, call it politics. And yeah, let's see. There was some more fun stuff. Oh, that hood is awesome. I need to make one, says Raymond. And be careful, Susan, because he will. He will. He's just finishing his sweater, I believe. I have to catch up.
Which number?
Which number? Yeah, no, a long way to go. Linda Larsby is here.
Not like Yuko's production, but he's working on it.
Linda Larsby's here. She's from Lund. I was hoping that would get a reaction out of the Swede.
Yeah.
There we go. Yay! Sweden representing. There's some more here. Let's see. Got a little too far back. Torben's here, Carl. Just popping in to say hello. Hope you enjoy some Danish beer. And Lille Ann, I gotta go. Places to go, people to see. It's too much textile for Torben. We had to have. You should have came on earlier when there was beer, Torben. Carl's looking a little happier over there. He has no problem sitting with all these wonderful women and stitching. We're doing the stitching and he's doing the bitching. Let's see. I think I went a little too far back. Charlotte is here, by the way, from Bergen. Hi, Charlotte. There's a spin-off magazine. Regina's here. Regina, did you get dressed up for us? We got dressed up for you.
Hi, Regina.
Hi, Regina. Kiwi said she started needle binding only 2 years ago, and there's so much to learn. Oh my God, and she makes that bicycle sweater, and she's working on an Oslo shawl. Yeah, no, I don't think you can call yourself a beginner anymore. I don't care.
That bicycle sweater is stunning.
Everybody here just had a stitch-gasm. I just want you to know. Linda says, where can I find the advent calendar? And Prude already posted it in chat, so she can scroll up to find it. Raymond says, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? I think it's you, Carl. With the money and the... It's even more fun when they do it in Norwegian. Over to the ille gutte, ille gutte.
Speak Norwegian better than that.
I do. Max says, I normally make a hat from from bottom to top, but I was wondering if Anne can make a video on how to make a hat in a round start, since every time I made a round start, it ends up becoming a sock or a mitten. Meanwhile, I have a tutorial how to make it. Mine's not good enough, Anne. Can you do it? No, mine's not in a video, though, either.
Currently, all I have for it is the basic on how to start. I do have like the most basic bit of how to start. Probably your best bet is to go look at the left-handed finish 2+2 video, because that's 22 minutes long, and I actually talk about how to do the increases to keep it flat. And even if you're not left-handed, it should be fine. You just think about it going the other direction. It gives you the idea of how to do those increases when you're not counting, because 1, 2, few, many is about all my brain will hold when I'm null binding. So counting does not work for me. So
No, you and I do the flat to start way, yeah.
Yeah, so I check the angle of my thumb loop in comparison, or the last loop in comparison to the line between where my connection stitch is and the center of the circle. And so if it is directly parallel to the line to the center, or is just slightly off by a couple of degrees, I don't need a new stitch. If it leans back at like 45 degrees, then I definitely need to have an increase, or I'm going to start cupping. If I've managed to accidentally cross that line, then I have too many and I'm going to have waves. So,
No, I do. I used to count, but now I do it that way, because it doesn't matter if I start with 8 stitches or 10 stitches or 14 stitches, depending on the stitch and depending on the yarn.
yeah, and it does depend on the stitch and the yarn a good bit, because some stitches will turn easier than other stitches, especially as you start getting into the stitches with higher loop counts. And if they're much more of a tabby weave, so like Dolby and then into the Russian variants, they don't bend really well, so you can't start with just 8, because they won't lay flat at 8.
Yeah, and then I have to have a
Yeah,
lot more.
and sometimes it's easier to start with something that's a little more flexible for that first row before you get into the more complicated stitches.
But when you do that angle start, then it doesn't matter if you started with too many stitches or too few, because you can adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, if you're going to make a hat, do you start from the bottom or do you start from the top?
Top.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Maria?
Both.
Oh, you're one of the...
Top.
Top. And...
Also the middle.
Mom starts from the top.
Mom starts from the top, and Susan? Bottom. Oh, you're one of those people. She starts from the bottom. Nele, bottom, up, or top, down? Oh, she's bi-stitchual. And you, Anne starts from the top too. Okay, I just want you to all know that the top-down people are more outnumbering the bottom-up people. This is very important to me. I love you all. I'd like to thank the little people, like my children. Let's see. Carl traveling with a bunch of, oh no, we already said that, bunch of singles. That got a lot of reactions in the chat, by the way. They're laughing their ass off. Security stopped Rhonda from Inverness for a Skara Bra fridge magnet. Oh my God.
Oh.
Let's see, and then Pruda has the link in there for the null binding advent calendar. Oh, but then Rhonda said, but he laughed when he realized what it was. I gotta say, being stopped for a fridge make is quite interesting. Vincent Rankins is here, if I can see it correctly. He says, hello, Anne. Cheers from California.
Yay!
That's your Anne.
That's your Anne.
You did not steal that Anne's thunder. A lot of positive reception.
My daughter says that I'm YouTube famous today.
Yes, you're YouTube. Yeah, because I have a massive following of like 1,000, where only 100 log in. But no, do we have? I think we are. Yeah, we are almost at 120 minutes. So does anybody have any advice, tips, or questions, or?
Otherwise, we could go check out my.
We gotta go check out the tent. Sorry. Gonna turn this around. We're gonna go. You guys gonna wave, or do you want to all walk down to Maria's tent? No, they're gonna be too lazy. It's too hot. So you have to wave, you guys, and then we'll go and follow Maria down to her tent. This was so much fun. And they said, thanks for the great couple of hours. See you next week, says Arlene. Arlene, you can't go yet. We got to go look at Maria's tent. We do. We have to look at her tent. Nobody can leave. All right. Oh, that was kind of fun. You guys are awesome. I'm bringing you next time. Don't leave your beer, Carl. We're coming back.
You can send us plane tickets.
You can send them plane tickets. Me first. This is the first time I've flown since COVID. Oh, I almost forgot we're in Landsby.
Yep.
Oh, I like your map, Carl. We need one of these in Gudvangen. For all the people that think we need a map. Okay. Carl really likes your pathway too, by the way, but you're doing the same thing I do. You're walking on the side to save your feet.
Yeah, my shoes.
The shoes, yeah. Yeah, you've got the real Viking shoes on. I'm doing fake today.
Now basically everything beats on north to south.
Oh, you have soles on, yeah.
I have thin soles.
Yeah, you have the leather soles on your shoes. Can we see your shoes a minute?
Not leather because they're thin.
Oh, they are.
It's
There
the
you
same
go.
as the top leather.
Yeah, oh, that's why.
That's why I'm choosing the grass.
Yep, I would too. What did you say, Carl?
Everything beats on north to south gravel for pathways.
Yeah, you can't wear Viking shoes on north of site gravel. It totally rips through. So all our shoes have holes, and then you're wearing the thin shoes, the thin leather on the bottom too.
The only thing I actually like with them is that they are very white, so you see them clearly when it's dark.
Oh yeah, when the sun doesn't come up for...
When the sun is up and you try not to stare directly at the sun and you have the sun bouncing back into your eyeballs from the ground,
Yeah.
then that's annoying too.
So this is my tent.
This is your tent. And the plant-dyed yarn, which I commandeered already 3 skeins of. You got to see a little...
And
You should have seen it when the light was hitting it.
booklets and
Yeah, then we got to show the books. So these, I will be bringing these back and we will put them in the web shop, but she has her own link too.
these are the Danish ones, and I have
There, you can see.
them inside on.
So, yeah, she's got one on splicing methods, shawls, how to make a shawl, or for bindelsesting. What is that? Oh yeah, different stitches, right?
Connection stitches.
Connection stitches, that's right. A bit of what Ingela's kind of doing now, but differently. Legmat, which is toy food.
Yeah.
Easter decorations, more toy foods, 1 and 2. Sorry, I shouldn't be squatting like this. Hats, or hoods anyway, with that little pointed edge on it. That's called like a strutshette, which is what, like an ostrich hood? Or I don't know, that's how I always translate it.
Well, it's because of the end of the hat.
Yeah, it points out like that. So it's not like the V.
Hat? I have no idea, but it's sort of the same hood as Susan hat.
Yeah, like Susan's hat, but with it's got a little tip that sticks out though. And then you got the jacket or cardigan. Hearts, neck warmers. You can see the moibus that they were talking about is in that one. Christmas, tray sweater, mittens. Learn to needle bind. You can also stitch. Learn to needle bind Mammenbroden and Longerid stitch. Learn to needle bind Telemark and Vendel stitch. Wrist warmers, socks, and sorry, I'm like pointing this way because I'm looking after not on the screen. And hats, by the way. Now, do you start that hat from the bottom or the top, Maria?
I do 3 ways.
You do 3 ways. Yeah, because you can start in the middle too. I remember translating that one.
Yeah, exactly. So
And then
I
there's
have
a
German ones, and I have English ones, and I have Swedish ones, and then I have the Dutch one,
Yep.
and then the
And then you got
French
the little
and
bit of
German
it.
ones from your
Yeah, this one here we have.
yeah,
These are the
and
French
that
and
one
German.
from Randy, also from
And
you,
Randy
then
from Stoltz.
Ants too.
And
well.
and this is the one somebody was asking about, I believe. That one's a new one. Which this is Dutch.
And that's Dutch, yeah, but not really new.
No? We haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one until you posted it not
Yeah.
too long ago.
It
Oh, she does
says
that goofy
in,
start.
In the first page, I think it says when it's from. I think it's from.
Let's
is it
see.
From 20, I think.
2018. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, then it's not that.
Yeah. So it's quite old.
But it's in Dutch, so you got another language covered.
Yeah.
And then
That's not mine, but
then you got your sweaters and your shawls.
yeah.
Oh, I love the rainbow color.
Yeah.
Is that oh crap, what's the name of the yarn? County yarn. Yeah, county yarn. That is such wonderful yarn.
Exactly.
This is the yarn I got from you, something similar but plant dyed. So I have to make something with that.
Yeah, yours are on the chest.
Yeah.
Down on the
Down
chest.
there, yeah, there. See, I'm commandeering those. I need it. Look. Should have seen it when the light was hitting it, though, and you can really see the colors. So one of them is 2-ply, and the other ones are singles. These are going to be, well, at least this one will be a hat. I'm not sure what I'll do with that one yet, but it's gonna speak to me.
And then my
I know you needle binding.
Yeah.
Nålbinding.
I did.
But you also say, like, I learned in Norwegian, nålebinding.
Yeah, I do say that in Danish often. Even
If you
though
take
some
e,
away
of
the
my
E, it's
booklets
also...
says nålbinding.
Yeah, because if you take away the E, it's also correct in Norwegian.
Yeah.
We have both.
Yeah, we do too.
Nålebinding and nålbinding.
Yeah. Well, this one I started to make it in plain cotton fabric.
To see.
To sew it on. So Anne picked
See
it
if
all
we-
up and put it on linen instead.
You also stitched it.
Yeah.
I like using also stitch as an embroidery thing. Max
Sewn
says,
on needle binding for a needle binding.
yeah, Max says, I have an easy step knoll binding book and other with Ulrika author. Oh, Ulrika Klasse-Bürtner.
Yeah.
I tried to get her book.
German one.
Oh, they cannot send it to Norway. I finally found it in Sweden where I can get it, but they will not send it to Norway because it's not part of the EU.
Send it to me, I'll send it.
Okay, deal.
No problem.
We could do that.
Otherwise, let me talk to Ulrika and see if she has the
Yeah.
colored one. Because
Oh.
I have the colored one because she came to the last needle binding festival.
We might do that because that's the only way we can get them in the shop. But
Yeah.
Is your daughter still overly fascinated with squids?
yeah. Oh, my Alex loves octopus.
It's my trial and error.
It's a good trial and a good error.
I still need another one because the head is too long.
No, this is like a turnip one.
This is my rocket.
It's a rocket. I like it. If it doesn't look,
My first squid, that's a rocket.
yeah.
And then some of
I don't know how well these
my
show up because of the
Christmas
bright.
garland from my book. And
Yeah.
some of the hearts, and these are from the calendar.
Yeah, I remember these.
Here.
It's looking a little shadowy, but they can see anyway because of the bright light. And you cleaned?
And then I cleaned.
You
My
cleaned
bed
her
is
tent.
almost
She found a bed.
Yeah. And then I have my
The needle. Oh, this thing is awesome. I made one of these once, and then I don't know. I stopped using it because I cut mine and you did yours in round.
Yeah.
But didn't you do yours in the same amount of yarn for each one to show how
all
much?
the yellow ones are 10
Yeah.
meters.
Yeah. So if you can see there's difference. But all the yellow ones are all 10 meters long. They're the same amount of yarn, but you can see how far you can get.
Yeah. And then
With
I
each one.
wrote
That was a
how
really
I
good way to do
the
it.
stitch, so it's easier for me to recognize how I need to do it when I need to do it again, so I don't have to keep it in store.
So you don't show up on YouTube saying, I'm going to show you how to do the Oslo stitch. I've done this lots of times, and then you can't remember how you did it.
Exactly.
And then you have these, your samples.
Yeah.
And you have a really cool nålehus. What is that called? Needle binding etui?
Needle case.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have really good ones.
I don't know if that's historically accurate.
Nope, but they're full of needles.
Oh, it works. You know they have these little soda tablets that you can put in water, vitamin D, vitamin C, or whatever in Norway. Those actually are perfect for needle binding cases too.
Yeah, with ladybugs because my logo is a ladybug. Because
that's right.
We usually say the Marie Hønen evig glad.
Yeah.
The song.
Maria.
But I always said Maria Hønen.
Yeah.
Because my name is Maria.
Yeah.
So the ladybug is sort of my logo.
And we'd say Mariarna. Mariarna, yeah.
Yeah.
In Norwegian. That's quite
Yeah.
close. Then you got these. I keep telling him we need these in the store. But you made them out of hardened leather. That was actually quite smart.
Yeah, well, I made them out of leather and then hardened them.
That was even smarter. I was thinking we needed them, and I kept thinking I need to get Runa or somebody to make them out of wood, but this was... Okay, we might have to steal that idea. And then this, which is... What are you going to tell them what this is? You have a picture of you doing it over there, but...
It's for making sausages.
Yep. It's the ends of horns.
It's the gourmet sausages because you're hand feeding the tube.
Yep. So this is quite cool. We've had some people in Gudvangen doing this. The Fortidsfamilien.
Yeah.
The Kucheras did that, but you can see that... Well, actually, no, that's a recipe. But you put the meat through there and then into the intestine.
Yeah.
Like she's doing there. Was that gross, by the way?
No,
No?
it wasn't.
Okay, good. You're braver than I am.
And it was deer meat.
It was a deer meat. Oh, that's actually really good, though.
And then the
Then you have your
article I
kits?
have in front
Yeah, I have to go around this way here.
with my awards for
Ah!
our speed contest.
Oh my God, is that today or when is that? By the way, I didn't.
We think about doing it after lunch or after dinner,
Okay,
and then tomorrow as well.
tomorrow as well might be a better one for me though. Just suppose maybe my arm's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Look, you're wearing your sweater.
Yeah, that's just about 25 kilos ago.
Det tar den tigern det taget. It takes the time it takes.
Yeah, because it does.
Yeah, I like this one. This is the article they did. Maria's the needle binder. But you got your kits all set.
Yeah.
So now like the challenge
That's
is on.
I wouldn't say kits, but it's awards.
It's rewards. It's a prize.
Rewards for the fastest needle binder in the needle binding festival.
Oh crap! Oh, and you made these too.
Yeah.
I forget what these are called, but yeah, that was really good. I've only seen these in wood.
Call them braiding wheels.
Braiding wheels is a good one.
Flower or something.
There's a really technical Japanese name for this, and I can't remember what it is.
But it's not kumuhimo.
No, it's not. God, you said that better than I could. Kumuhimo or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, kumuhimo.
Yep. And then you made these. I thought these were cute.
Yeah.
I make bookmarkers with those.
Yeah.
And then you have these ones. You have to open it because I only have one hand.
Yeah. And because there's a needle inside.
Yeah, I don't want to break that then. Oh. So it's a perfect size.
I have a needle in every one of my needle cases.
That would actually fit Ann Decker's needles, because she doesn't use the gigantic needles like me.
Yeah, well, I got some new...
You got the new ones that you have to see.
Yeah, and here as well. They're different.
No needle cases.
Yeah.
And they're dyed leather.
Yeah, they are.
Look how pretty. Yeah, I like the stitching too.
Yeah.
Oh, and this I've seen before.
Yeah, that's the one I won from Amy.
I was going to say Amy Vandervorst, yeah? Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't know you won it. I just recognized it from her Shy Red Fox.
I was lucky enough to win it. So,
oh, good deal. God, I got to make some of those one day.
Yeah, so it's nice to show that you can do other things.
You can do lots of it. Yeah, I think people think you can make hats and mittens and that's it. And
exactly.
No.
That's the Celtic. Some Celtic
you can
knots.
see how she's wrapped it back on each other there.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Okay, we have to show more. You got silk. Did you dye these?
I did. I plant dyed them.
I should have come here earlier.
Silks there, and I have silks on the other side too.
They're so pretty.
So they're big squares. Those, and then I have some.
Oh, I can show the ones over here. They're better in the light. There, we can see the color more. There, you can see.
And some bigger ones here, which has a lot of color, but. Yeah.
Oh, those are pretty. We used to have these. I don't know why we don't have them anymore.
That one is the best color I've ever made with madder.
That's madder?
That's madder. It's a complete accident.
That's like the same color as my shirt.
I inherited some madder from the 70s from an old plant dyer.
Yeah.
And then I put it in a bucket and I put in some beer past date.
Oh, yeah.
And some sugar and some yeast.
And you got that?
Yeast. I dyed it in Sweden with soft water. I don't know if soft water.
Yeah, we call it hard water. I have no idea what the soft water. Yeah, but we say hard water in the United States, hard water, but the other one is soft. Yeah, good question. I've been out of the country too long.
So I dyed it in Sweden.
Yeah.
Where we have the good water, because it's the one that you get from the bottle.
Yeah,
exactly.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, the bottled water, I guess we could call it, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's from a well. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they were orange. And then when I came home to my parents after we were in the summer house that summer, I took their water, which is full of ochre.
Ochre, yeah. Ochre, no, not ochre.
And chalk.
Yeah.
And when I put this in water, it turned Bordeaux.
Oh, but it's so pretty.
It is.
That's not an easy color. And then you got, of course, the blue.
2 of these in the chiffon silk, and then I made 2 of the other square silks. So me and my mom have one.
Yeah.
And then.
I have to point out this because I did this too. You got your patched socks.
Yeah.
This is the only thing I can do with Greg's socks is put them on display in the village to show you that you cannot. You can just fix them.
And this I don't fix because I want to show people that if you pull.
Oh, that's a good demonstration. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually good. I left one so they could see what it looked like before and after the patch, but I did it.
I pulled it.
I like your
so it
patching.
doesn't pull anything more.
Yeah, to show them that.
Even the heel.
Because Carl will say that on his tours anyway, that it'll just be a simple hole that you can repair. It doesn't unravel.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yep. Oh, you got some comments here. Just a minute. Hard water is equal to alkaline. Too much calcium. Brutus says, how's Greg's socks that I made? I have to put a couple stitches in it because I figured out what it is. When he puts his shoes on, he doesn't unzip or not unzip, but undo the shoes. So he puts them on with his shoes still tied together, and then it just pulls on the back.
That's stupid.
Yeah, so he's not allowed to wear those socks for a while. Max says, I think it's the same color I found on the fragment from the Finland dating back to the Iron Age. Oh, from Finland dating back to the Iron Age.
Which color?
The burgundy. Ooh. Yeah. TV's here, by the way. Mini M&Ms, capped tubes make good null binding cases too. Oh, I didn't think about that. We got a lot of fun things. Maria Hale, can you make a short video on Finnish 2+2 and other Russian kinds besides telemark? I'm sorry, she said Ms. Hale. Ms. Hale. Ms. Hale.
I guess I could.
You have to do it. Somebody's got to do these videos. Okay.
Yes, I
and then, Arlene is off. She says, gorgeous, thanks for a great time today, gorgeous yarn and cute octopus. Purta says, I would have guessed that those were thimbles. Ah, the horn things.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see.
Could also be used for coiled
Yeah.
weaving, I think it's called in English.
Yeah, that's right. You could. And then we go. So there we go. Sorry, just seeing my faces in there. Now we have to show a little bit more here. And then we should probably go because I've been occupying them for so long. Yeah, that's the one I was just thinking of. This is cool. Okay, tell.
Some places in Denmark, when we go to Viking centers, they don't want us to show paper.
Nope, we can't do paper in the village either.
So I made a leather booklet with my patterns.
Yeah.
So they are all sewn in.
Smart. And then you can just peek it out to see.
So I can
that was a really good idea.
So I can leave it here and people can look
View
at it
through
anyway.
and then it's not in the, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, you were the one that inspired me to do these, but yours were square.
Yeah, the
square
starters were
ones.
squares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love these, so I made these too. But yeah, the first ones were square and I liked them
Yeah.
so much I tried to make it and then they didn't sell the square ones anymore.
Nope.
And then you have needles too.
Yeah.
You have to drill on the
Both
needles.
some of.
How do you like, this is copper. How do you like using copper or bronze for a needle?
Well, my silver one is.
Did you see that, Carl?
bling.
She's got a silver needle.
Yeah, it's my bling.
Jenny Erickson has one too. I need one.
If I had brooches, I would
Yep.
put it on a brooch, but I don't. So
I
I'm
could-
keeping it in my.
So Carl, I need one and it needs to, could go on this boob or this boob, you choose. Okay? I can even get you the name of the guy who makes them, I think.
I do have some in brass and so on, but I don't really use them. I use them more for show.
I would be afraid I'd bend them, but
Yeah.
because I bend the brass sewing needle I have.
But all of these, most of these anyways, is Jesper, my friend, who makes them.
Yeah. Oh, and look
So
at the
I brought them
red.
for him.
Red
Yeah.
epoxy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
So you can be flash. I like these ones.
So I only brought this lot
Purple heart.
with the new
Oops, sorry.
long needles.
Yay, the Karin size needles. So those are almost, yeah,
And
these are
then,
long enough for me to use.
And then these are leftovers from my multiple needle cases.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, these are awesome.
Yeah.
No, you're starting to get into Karin sizes here.
I ordered it longer.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you got the multiple eyes too, because I actually am addicted to multiple eyes. But I always tell people, if you're not sure, if you think you're going to do Latmonstroll or whatever lazy amount of thread, then get one with 2 eyes, because there's no rule that says you have to use both eyes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, so my longest needle is 22 centimeters. Oh, and then you have these ones too.
Yeah.
Yep, I've been using travel bottles for spray, but I like this one. It's even better. It's Viking spit in a bottle, not water.
For those who don't want other people's DNA on their items.
And then you have wax for the thread?
Yeah, not for just for sewing threads.
For sewing threads, yeah.
I had
Yeah.
some wooden needle cases, and they were good to just beeswax them around if they're too loose. You can do it with the sewing needles too.
Though we actually should have that in our shop for sewing. This was actually quite smart. You made a splicing kit, but
Yeah.
this is for needle felting, needle felting?
Needle felting,
Or sewing splice.
or sewing splice, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Both
quite
the
smart.
Russian and the sewn splice,
That's quite
which
smart.
I have in my booklet.
And it's only 20 kroner. So
Oh,
it's
yes.
like $2.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. And then you have you have even kits too to
Yep. I
Little-
usually
Learn to needle
have
bind,
1,
also
2, and
York.
3 booklets in one, and then I made the bigger ones with all the 3.
Is this, oh, you put all 3 in there. I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe this was for people like me who are starting to lose their eyesight.
Nope.
And then,
And I have that one in German too, but there are a few extra booklets in the German one.
there you go. And I have to recommend your books because I still can't be asked to put my patterns in printing. It's not because it's just because I'm too lazy. Oh, there we go. And there's how you spell her name, by the way, so you can find her on Facebook.
Yeah, it's sort of like the heel on the foot.
The heel and the foot. I always say that too. It looks like heel, but it's heel. Is it heel? Am I
Yeah,
saying that right?
heel.
Yeah.
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 So it's, I guess it's a short
Yep.
E.
Yeah, because you got the Danish swallow letter or something according to Norwegian. Yeah. Carl, would you like to demonstrate your Danish language?
Would be very inappropriate at this point, wouldn't it?
I have mead.
She has mead. She has mead. Okay, say. Okay, how do you say I have mead in Danish, Carl?
Jeg har mjøl.
There you go. Say it again.
Almost.
Jeg har mjøl.
Is he getting there?
Jeg har mjød.
Yeah, mjøl. Oh my God! Watch her tongue when she says this. Okay, say it again.
Jeg har mjød.
Her whole tongue curls when
Yeah.
she says it. Okay, watch her, Carl. Say it again.
I'm not trying to learn Danish.
You are learning Danish if you're gonna get the mead.
I have 3 bottles.
Yep, she's got 3 bottles. Okay, say it again.
Jeg har
We made him try to learn how to pronounce the Lithuanian beer name too. That was kind of funny. Oh, and you have a nostopinna.
I do.
Vindpin
The last one left.
which is a what do you call that in English? Nostopinna, I think it's called actually.
Yeah, we say vinnipin.
Vindpinna.
So,
Yeah, it's for spooling your thread, your yarn. Yarn winder. Oh, there we go. Now I got your info.
Yarn winder, I guess.
There we go. And then you got your information there so they can find you. Okay, then we should probably go. We're at 183. Still 16 people hanging on. I like that. Okay. Then we will, Carl, are we back at 6 o'clock next week, Saturday? Where did he go? He's still there. That's because I can't see my screen very well today.
No, I assume so.
6 o'clock next week, yeah? Oh, you want to tell them a little bit about the Needlebinding Festival before we go? What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
We're having a needlebinding festival here in Odense Denmark, where we just hang around teaching needlebinding. You can come and learn and just geeking out with other people about needlebinding.
We might have had a little bit of geeking today, Carl.
Yeah. And we are preparing to make one next year too.
And this is Jernalderlandsbyen in Odense, Denmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called Odense Odense.
Odense.
Yeah.
That's why the taxi driver couldn't find.
Yeah.
I told him.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just see if there's any more question in there for you. Prude is laughing her ass off at you, Carl. I don't know why. Raymond still hasn't fallen asleep yet. Laugh out loud, which is pretty good considering we are over when we usually start. Kiwi says, my favorite needle is reindeer bone. I will I want to try a bronze or a silver needle though. We have actually ordered bronze needles for the shop.
I know Jesper's trying to get some reindeer.
Yeah.
To make
Oh, the reindeer you gotta have, yeah. And the moose.
Oh yes,
The
that
moose.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, those are really quite nice. Max says, I heard that those kinds of null binding needles has been traditional in Finland for many millennia. I did not know that. My favorite needle is mammoth ivory. Oh my god. There's a guy up there that has whale tooth jewelry as well and handles on his knives and stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm walking away with bling, by the way, this year. I got Carl bling too. We have to pay for it tomorrow, so we don't actually have it. And do you have a website? Yeah, you did find her website on there, I believe.
Yeah, I have an Etsy too, but I will put that somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, she does. And Torun uses a bronze needle. Arlene says, I did stay and I watched it all the way to the end. That is impressive. Okay, no, she wins the prize. Ann Taylor says, I'm still here from Central Arizona. Yeah, we got everyone in here today. And I'm going to do my best to be here next year, says Prudo. Yes, you will. And thanks for having us all to your festival. They say? Your festival.
Great.
Yep. Okay, no, seriously, we gotta go. Carl needs meat. Bye-bye. Where's the end on here? There it is.